How's it going, everybody? Hope my mic is not even at my face. All right. All right. We are here. We're on our lunch break. So we've got, a little bit of time to watch the developers watch along. How's it going, Pauline and Bright Sight? How's it going, Swift Bunny? Hope everyone is doing fantastic. I need to go pull up Twitch. Where's Twitch? How's it going, Jonathan? Everyone is having a better work day than I am so far. It'd be nice to have a nice, peaceful live stream. Is this where they're going to stream from? Is this like the little prelude? Hang on, I'm going to mute it for now, but we might. All right. We have ads. How's it going, Pat Battle? Fix PvP, please. I would love PvP to be fixed. What's everyone hoping for? I guess I want, obviously, new PvP modes, but I also want them to update the vendors. To me, that's huge. I would love amazing vendors for them to do. What is this? Is this where they're going to be? This is the Bethesda Dutch account. I don't know if that's where they're going to be streaming from or what. I would like to search. just God, Twitch is no. I don't want to sign in. Sorry, I'm like using Twitch from my phone, and it's just like such a wonky. I don't know why it's so stupid. They will raid the main. All right, we'll just watch there then. I can always pull it up and view it from there. They're not talking very loud, or else I would use this to balance the audio. We're gonna have to balance the audio for what are they doing? Is he questing? I guess that's what that is. But I hope that they fix PvP. Specifically, cross healing is exceptionally annoying. I hope they change that. I hope that they add new vendors for PvP, especially for Battlegrounds. I don't know if I want. So there's been the idea floated about like tiers. So like Battlegrounds tiers, like a Rubedite tier. I forget what the other tiers are besides Rubedite, but like different tiers. I don't know. Would you guys like a tier system for PvP? Like if you were queuing into a battleground, you would face people in a league, and then if you won, you would move towards the next league. If you lost, you would go down. Is that something that you guys would want? I go back and forth on if I would want that or not, because like right now when I queue into a battleground, it's like all the same people. I'm like, oh look, everybody that I recognize, which kind of drives me insane. So what do you guys think? Would you guys think, oh, it's better to have leagues, no leagues? I think the rewards need fixed, though, definitely. I mean, getting into the top 100 for a PvP game, you would think you would get, like, cracked rewards, but the rewards are just kind of like, eh. To me, that's the biggest thing that I think that they need to work on. I don't see, but the thing is, if they made it like really good, I feel like they could do that. Like if they made this the new cracked game mode, hear me out. I know that they're floating an 8v8 out there, but how about a 64v64? Like let's go all out. They need to fix the queues. That's probably true. I think that, I don't know. I think part of the problem is their ELO system. They have a matchmaking system built into the game that I think needs to just be totally redone, unfortunately. I think that's their biggest problem. Realistically, is they need to fix that, because like when I queue into a battleground, I recognize everybody that I'm going against. It's always the same players, and I guarantee that there's other people queuing when I queue, and I'm not seeing them because it's not even considering them as potential opponents. So to me, that's probably the biggest thing. I do think new gold foods would be good too. ESO Battle Royale. Can you imagine an ESO Battle Royale? It's like, oh, I picked up, Pillar of Nirn off the ground. I don't know why I said an example. It's a terrible example. They need to make it better for new PvP players because they're either afraid to queue or greeted by people who are gold tier gear below 50. That's true too. There are so many players that are queuing into below 50 battlegrounds that have cracked armor, cracked, sets, and they're just absolutely filleting everybody there. I can't play BGs on Xbox EU, which sucks because I need the pages. Is there just not enough players like when you do it? Instead of nerfing Arcanist, they should bring every class up. I agree with that. I agree. I think that, it's like the Helldivers problem. Instead of nerfing classes, I think it's fine that Arcanist can parse, 140,000? Just let other classes parse higher, like just buff them all. I do think that if you do too many buffs, though, you might cause balancing problems for PvP, and I think that's probably a lot of times what causes the concern, but I think it's fine, to be honest. Yeah, I always see the same people every time I queue in, and it drives me absolutely insane. I don't know if they will or won't do that. Being a Smurf. But the thing is like, it's weird because in ESO, every new character is immediately a Smurf, which is just so weird conceptually because it's like, if you have another character that's super high level and super good, you would think that the game would just kind of recognize that you're probably a good player, Like the game should recognize that you probably know what you're doing. Yeah, it's really is the same, tarnished, wretched vitality. There's the seducer mythic. It's the same kit and caboodle that everybody's using. I think you're getting a pet. It's a pet, I think, and something else. Probably a pet and a crown crate, if I had to guess. By the way, thank you all. We have 52 people on Twitch right now, which is crazy, and we have 44 on YouTube. This is one of the only times that YouTube is ever beating out, or YouTube is losing to Twitch. So thank you guys for joining. We're doing this right smack dab in the middle of the of the day at work, which is kind of crazy. Work's been so wild so far, and then afterwards it's going to go back to being wild again. So this is a nice little escape while while I wait. Yes, it's not at nighttime. I'm hoping that we get a little prelude. We're just kind of watching the German developers play right now. I hope that they. How would you guys feel about an elimination game mode where it's like an 8v8, you say, but every time you die, you're dead until the next round unless you get rezzed? I feel like that could be so interesting because it could bring back like needing to resurrect people faster. It would probably be faster because for 8 people to die, it's probably pretty quick. Oh, yeah, I would love to do a max stat DK. I just don't like DKs. Like every time I face a DK, I'm just like, ugh. A free for all would be good too. Only thing I don't like about free for alls is I don't think that they're good for new players. I think it's a bit stressful for a new player to have to come in and be like, oh yeah, it's a free for all, so you don't have any teammates to kind of guide you to objectives and stuff. A ping system would be really nice if they could implement like a pinging, like go west, go north, go over here, attack this way. It would be really nice too for PvP. Hopefully something like that wouldn't be too crazy. My biggest hopes are for a vendor refresh and for just new Battlegrounds modes. And then for Battlegrounds top 100s to be worth it, Like I feel like if Battlegrounds had like good top 100 rewards, I would be actively grinding Battlegrounds over Cyrodiil. And maybe that's part of the fear is that they don't want to take away from Cyrodiil. But I'm like, so many players love Battlegrounds. It's quick, it's fast, it gives you good experience, good gold, good AP. Like it would be worth it. And it would also fix the Battlegrounds queue because there'd be so many people in it. I also think the drops don't open until 2:30. Tournament mode would be cool too. The only thing I don't like about tournament modes would there be too many people building just uber defensively? You know, that would be my only fear. Like they would have to try to build in a system. I had even thought about a system where everybody is basically wearing the Torque of the Alien King, so your stats are kind of nominalized. Um, I just don't know how they could do that without kind of making people angry. And the other thing too is they kind of need new stuff to come out for Battlegrounds. Like they need people upgrading all their PvP sets. They need people to come out and be excited about this new PvP stuff because it's going to directly impact the ESO economy. People are going to be upgrading, spending their gold mats and stuff. And that's what they need, you know? My chat's still coming up on YouTube. I feel like it's glitching right now. Sometimes YouTube drives me insane. No, the rewards shouldn't. Well, I think that rewards should be a good portion of the update because, like, when Infinite Archive came out, there was like new thing. There was like a whole new currency. You know, like this. We're comparing this versus Infinite Archive. I'm gonna set my cat on top of me because she's walking on my keyboard. I don't know. I think it's sometime this month for that house, Steven. But like to me, when Infinite Archive came out, it was like your archival fortunes can buy mythics, they can buy fragments, they can buy furnishing items, they can buy monster set styles. So that's where to me I think that there's no like they can use this as an opportunity to update the top 100 rewards, add a new vendor in, you know, like all of that stuff to me is fine and I hope that they do that. I know that they were experimenting with dueling and 2v2s. I just don't know how popular that would be. Like, if you're a brand new player, would you want to go into like a 1v1 game mode? That probably would be a bit too stressful. Yeah. Just tell me about how you guys all have the Torque of the Alien King and that you don't even use it. Yeah, just rub it in. Just rub it all in, huh? Hopefully, I get the Torque of the Alien King one day. What'll happen is I'll get it and then it will immediately be nerfed. That's what's gonna happen, realistically. And then it'll be fine. I'll just cry softly to myself. I think that there's an equation. The more time you spend in Cyrodiil, the less likely you are to get infinite archive drops. I think that's the science behind it. Yeah. Everybody, has the Alien King. I feel like everybody that owns the Alien King just comments about it because they're like, Jake, you know this useless mythic I don't use, the one that you really want super badly? I got it. I just like throw it in a drawer somewhere. I just throw it in the bank. I actually deconstructed it for materials. Didn't even want it. I didn't even dig it up. I just let the leads expire. I'm like, thanks everyone. That's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, the top 10 leaderboards. Don't you feel like if you're in the top 10 leaderboards for a game that has over 24 million players, that you should get like a exclusive title, furnishing? Like to me, that's where I think that they need to like up the rewards. Is like if I'm going out and I'm getting into these like crazy cracked rewards tiers, then boom, I should get something crazy. The floor plans? Are you trying to get the plan? By the way, the plans right now from the gold or the Westweld zone are pretty crazy right now. Yeah, you get jank gold weapons. I feel like you should get like a title. Like in the year of 2023, I got this. Thank you, Rambo, for the tier 1 for 16 months. Jake is in the house. That is true. He's in his own house. I got back from my field visits. I was hustling. I was like, I gotta get back. I gotta do the developers watch along. Maybe some mounts that you could buy with your uh AP would be really good too. Fortunately, the whole pre-show is in German, so I don't even have the volume on. Polymorphs would be good too. I would take leads. Like I feel like leads. If you have leads, like Infinite Archive and this update should be compared directly against each other. Because last year was Infinite Archive, right? This year we're getting whatever the PvP update is. So this is like the direct comparison for them. And thank you for the resubscription for 3 months. Suck that fart. Good afternoon, Jake. Hope your afternoon is going well also. Unfortunately, after this, we got to go back to work, which will be a little bit sad, but at least we get to spend a little bit of time with the ESO fam, over the lunch period. Mm-mm-mm. I do social work, so I did some field visits earlier. Now I have to handle some problems in the afternoon. I have somebody I have to figure out how I'm gonna get food to them because they ran out of food. So I have to figure out that it is pretty interesting. It's always different every day. That's what I love about it. It's always different. But sometimes it can be inadvertently stressful because sometimes people are their own worst enemy and you're trying to help them. You know the expression like somebody's digging a hole and you're trying to get them out of the hole. Well, some of them are down there with like excavators just shoveling dirt out, and I'm just like, please stop digging deeper in this hole. I need to get you out of here. And they're like, no, I'm going in the hole. No, please get out of the hole, please. I enjoy it though. I mean, I genuinely enjoy what I do and being able to help people, being able to do something unique and different every day. I couldn't do the same thing every day. Like I would probably go mentally insane. And don't you feel that doing Cadwell's Almanac and just getting that hat is a bit underwhelming? Well, no, because I made that hat my whole personality. So to me, it was perfect. It's how I look distinguishable. That whole I wish that they would actually sell that hat. I don't know. I think the personality is coming back. I think that they've actually released their official Undaunted Celebration event information, so we'll be able to see that here soon. Also, they should be rating soon. I don't know what's going on with the live stream. It's frozen. Bethesda. Okay, I guess it's where did. Oh look, there's my own live stream. It's supposed to start at 2:30, but I think they're gonna do this thing where they like don't start at 2:30. They start at like a different time period. they'll say 2:30, but realistically, it's like, oh yeah, he was watching the German one too. Where is the live stream? Why does my Twitch look so? I'm gonna reload Twitch real quick because I don't know why it looks like this. Yeah, you should be able to get the sticker. Like you should be able to search. Why do I not have like a search function? And I can't. It just says your profile need help. That's so stupid. Is Pain in the Axe watching it right now? Is it started? No, it's not started yet. It's not started yet. Everybody here is just waiting. Yeah, usually they start like within 15 minutes, but they haven't done that yet. You would think so. I think I can also screen share to my thing if I need to. My TV. For some reason, my Xbox account doesn't want to like find Bethesda. Like it's I don't know. Did you guys does your Twitch look like this on your Xbox? For me it looks totally different. And now it's like not showing me stuff correctly. Where even is ESO? Oh my gosh. ESO is like it's not even categories we think you'll like, games that you've never played before. wonder if I could just do this. Yeah, it's not started yet. Nothing's happening anyway. I don't know why my Twitch is all funky though. Re lost our last soccer game, unfortunately, but Re also started with 2 people down, which is never ideal. That's like the worst way you can play a soccer game is without 2 people. Good news though, we're one of the top people for ESO right now. That's kind of neat. Let's see if this does it. Thank you for liking the YouTube content, Cypher. I don't know what's wrong with Twitch right now. I genuinely am confused as to why it's not popping up. Like, and I can't search. It's just like, do you want to sign in? And I'm like, I guess I can sign in if that will like, do I need to sign in? Is this like a thing that I'm required to do for me to be able to search and watch a video? Because I don't usually sign in on my Xbox. Okay. I don't want to I don't want to stream. I just want to watch a stream. Is it starting? I'm about to just pull up Pain in the Axes and we'll just watch him watch the thing.
Today's live stream. Hopefully you can hear us okay.
We'll just watch him watch it.
Tails! Oh shit!
I'm the senior manager for creator engagement at the Elder Scrolls
Ain't no way.
Online. And so
We got
excited
Ninetales
to
on here.
welcome my co-host today. We have Mrs. Ninetales
What the
from
frick?
the ESO stream team.
Hi, how's everybody doing today?
That's cool.
Sorry, we were a couple minutes late. You know how it is, just trying to get things all set up here.
Where's Mr.
I sound out
Ninetales?
of breath. Okay, so elephant in the room. We're just going to address it now. I was waiting for somebody to be like, you sound
4.5
weird.
tails.
I got some sort of like weird
Too loud? Alright, 1 second.
infection or something
Oh,
over
man.
the weekend, so I'm on antibiotics. I feel fine. It's
How's
just my
this good?
throat
Is this
like,
alright?
my lymph nodes are all swollen and stuff, so
Kidding.
I feel totally
Maybe.
fine. I'm not contagious or anything. Not that it matters, because the missus
You're in
is
your
Just
own
type
house.
1
I
if
feel
this
like
is
it's
good,
somewhere
type
else.
2 if it's too loud, type 3
Yeah,
if it's
we're
not
quite
loud
a few
enough.
states away. I think we're good at least.
we're okay. We're all healthy here. We're just
Yeah,
sounding,
Ninetales
you
is
know,
awesome.
a little.
Where's Mr.
It's like
Ninetales
I was
though?
at a concert or something and I was screaming too much, but anyway.
Oh, you just gotta scream more.
So this is
Trust
about
me.
as excited as I'm going to sound today. In any event, do want to welcome Miss Ninetales here.
Fuck you, Sakar.
for
You
those
rat.
that maybe haven't tuned
I
into
saw
your
that
channel,
shit.
do you wanna talk
Get
a little
overlooked in the
bit
PvP
about,
collab. Suck my ass, Sakar.
What you do? Like obviously you stream, but you have kind of a special
Donkey ass.
channel, I think.
Yeah. So what's kind of unique about, I shouldn't say my channel, is for those of you who haven't tuned into our streams, I actually co-stream with my husband Ninetail Fox. We
I'll back
stream
out, see if I can find the actual broadcast. I don't know why it's not here. Like, where is the ESO update? I don't want to, you know, I mean, I don't mind watching Pain in the Axes, but also, like, where is it? It sounds like they're running late anyway, so we're just going to reload Twitch. But my Twitch is being so weird. It's, like, not letting me use the search functions. I can't use any of the other functions, you know? Like, where is it? It's just so... I've never seen Twitch, like, have these problems before. Like, is this a settings problem? Yeah, I'm gonna switch my settings real quick. Is this... I have, like, accessibility on, like, high contrast. Maybe that's, like, causing the problem. So now you can see my Xbox is all different. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so stupid. Like, if you have high contrast mode on, I guess you just don't get to watch stuff.
This is gonna
You
happen.
just can't search on Twitch.
Whoever controls the streets
All right,
controls
well,
the city.
when the ads are done, then let me know if this volume is okay. Yeah, just let me know if this volume balance is good, because I'm gonna turn them back up because Pain in the Axe was a little loud. Love him to death, but he's a little chatty Cathy. Once the ads are done, obviously, unless you guys are interested in the penguin. Come on, Max.
That's what we're going to be talking about in
I
great deal
know.
today. So going over actually all the things that we're going to be talking about today, it is a big Update 44 preview stream. So of course we are going to start with what is coming to PvP. We're going to
Getting the good stuff out of the way first. Love that.
the Update 44 base game. We'll be talking about the new companions that we just lightly touched on at the beginning of the year, where we'll go over some in-game events and some announcements, and then close up with a special message from the team that just released the Elder Scrolls Castles. Now, for Update 44, we do want to let everybody know this is coming to the PTS on Monday, September 16th. You know what else is happening on September 16th? It's my birthday. Yay. Happy birthday to me.
Hey,
Update 40.
How's the volume with them? Is their volume okay?
Birthday present ever.
It is. You know what? This happens all the time when it's like, oh, my birthday is the week of PTS. Sweet. I'm turning 24 again. No, just kidding. So
$24.99 plus shipping and handling.
That's good that it's Monday PTS. Love that. So we'll get to see how balanced it is, how good whatever it is feels, and get to be able to jump in a little more.
but
I feel that.
yeah, it's all good. October 28th, Update 44 is going to launch for PC, Mac, Steam, and Epic. And then November 13th is consoles. Chat, thank you so much. You all are very sweet. Everyone's very excited today, as am I. It's going to be a really fun live stream. All right.
It is. Which, next on the list here, don't forget that Twitch drops are on right now. If for any reason you guys aren't seeing it, make sure you refresh. Sometimes Twitch can be a little tricky.
Yes.
But the Chaos Bowl cohort pet, it is a brand new pet that we haven't seen before. So
Haven't we seen this pet before?
that's pretty awesome.
This
This one
looks
ideally
cool.
isn't going to do you any damage though. Also, as a reminder, the September Spotlight, you can get 2 free dungeons and more this month. So the Dragon Bones DLC dungeons, Fanglair and Scale Caller Peak are available for daily login rewards.
Final predictions. What do you guys think? 8v8, 4v4 game mode, and a vendor refresh is what I feel like we're going to get. If you guys watched Jake Clips, we already broke down this whole event here. You guys have seen all this information, except for the housing event because they delayed that. They posted about that on Twitter, so I'm hopeful that we get to see what the actual housing event will be.
Which we're going to talk about, I think, in just a minute. That's going to be coming up. We have an Undaunted celebration starting on Thursday. All the dungeons you can run and more. We obviously have today's live stream, which is the update into PvP, which is going to be so exciting. And then later this month, we also have a couple 10-year anniversary meetups, which includes over in Italy, which I'm so jealous I can't be there for.
I know, same.
And then one in San Diego on the 21st at TwitchCon, which I will be there for. So come visit.
I
will be there at San Diego. If anyone wants to come say hello, I'll be there.
Yes, thanks to some friends for letting us crash with them. We were able to get a couple dollars scraped together to get at least the plane tickets out. So we won't be at TwitchCon itself, but we will be in the area for the meetup. So come say hi. I'll have lots of free time.
I'm very excited for that one. As Mrs. mentioned, the Home Tours contest, we previously had said that was going to start on September 4th. Well, here we are on September 10th. So basically, we are just kind of working to ensure that as many players can participate as possible all around the world. So we are going to have more details on this very soon. Again, Undaunted starting a little bit later this week. And of course, that Fallen Leaves of Westfield event that was on that graphic, we will be talking about that a little bit later in the stream. Somebody said that you have no picture or sound. Just give it a refresh. So that should fix any of your issues. If
Volume's still good, chat. We're still good. Still cruising and bruising.
go at that point. All right. let's go ahead and kick things off with some PvP talk. We know chat is super stoked to
ready.
hear what is going on. So we are going to bring in our lead combat and PvP designer, Mr. Brian Wheeler. Thank you for joining us. It's been a while since you've been on one of these.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. But, not as long as needing to scroll back to...
Get those final predictions out.
You guys scroll a little bit farther than I do. I know.
Let's scroll a little bit longer. A little bit longer. That $24.99 with shippings, oof.
Yeah.
A little bit much. A little bit.
I know.
That's okay.
It's all
That's
good.
fine.
It's all good. All right. So back in, was it January for Global Reveal? We had kind of touched on how Update 44 is going to be related to PvP somehow. So what is it that you have been working on?
Old stuff. So we'll cut right to the chase. We've heard a lot of feedback from the PvPers out there regarding short-term PvP, and we wanted to give you guys something brand new. So we're going to start with two-sided Battlegrounds, which is an entirely different shift. We've been going with three-sided Battlegrounds for a long time now, but people have commented they want to have something that's a little bit more competitive, where it's two-sided.
So we knew about this. We knew about the two-sided, the 4v4 and the 8v8.
We're trying to cater to a lot of audiences here with Battlegrounds, where we're going to have 4v4 matches, 8v8 matches, and it's on 7 new maps entirely. So they're custom built. It's let us explore a lot of different things here. With
new maps is good. Love that.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a good year and a half, 2 years almost working on this with engineers, UI designers, as well as the other designers and just QA running through playtests left and right. So it's been a lot of hard work from a lot of people, and it's nice to finally talk about this and show it off versus...
I'm liking it so far.
Yeah, I hear you. And one thing worth noting, this is not part of a DLC. This is all base game. So as long as you own the game, you're going to be able to play all of these new maps and these new modes for free, which is really cool.
Yep. And just, so everybody's clear, three-sided isn't we're not flushing it going away. It's just going to go on the back burner for a little bit. We're talking about bringing three-sided back for holidays later on, but for 44, the focus is going to be two-sided. It's going to be these new maps and game modes and all these other features that we've added in, which is cool. I'm actually in game if you all would like to see some of this stuff.
He's in game right now. He said all this other stuff too, so let's see what else there is.
The whole time with going through all 7, but we can give a nice high level and some overview of not only just the maps themselves, but possibly some game mode additions to show off yours too. So it's pretty cool.
Sure. There we go.
The first one I'm in is a city on an island in itself. It's called Port de Fort, or Port de Fort if you're a little bit more French. The beauty of going two-sided was that it lets us kind of experiment a little bit more with different layouts. We were kind of tied in very heavily to an octagon shape before for three-sided.
This does look like a MOBA map versus a normal Battlegrounds map.
Two-sided, we can really, flex creativity a bit and go more asymmetrical or symmetrical. It's sort of like the sky's the limit. And this map is a city map. We really like the idea of the tight quarter alleyway streets. A lot of people really like how Imperial City fights, but there wasn't a vibe like that existed too heavily in Battlegrounds. And you can see some confetti coming down from the sky. So sort of the vibe we wanted for this map was almost like the running of the bulls in Pamplona, where people were celebrating. They're like, yay, the Battleground people are here. So, and I guess that's another thing that should be pointed out, that it is 2 teams only. It is Pit Demons and Fire Drakes. Sorry, the Storm Lords, they had to take a break. But, we had...
I like this too. The new map design, I think, is going to be really good.
Hold back the fact that orange and purple are part of the team's colors, because, being from Baltimore, Ravens and Orioles, thought about it. Couldn't resist. So we did hold back. But you're seeing some other stuff in here with power-ups. This should be familiar to a degree.
The return of the power-ups. These are some early BG things going on. I like it.
Yeah.
Sigils.
So initially we had the damage power-up in there. Just purely get damage. That's it. Murder. And
Chat, type 1 if you like the idea of sigils, type 2 if you don't like the idea of sigils. What do you think about sigils being put in?
Which is why we kind of shut them off. Another point there about, 4-on-4-on-4 is that when you're just one of those players in those teams, if you make a mistake, if you die, the respawn timer is pretty rough. It was really brutal and kind of punishing, for lack of a better way to word it, which it should be when you die in PvP. But in these modes, we're going more, and you get to see me zip now. We're trying to go a little bit more relaxed, at least in the 8-on-8 territory.
So it seems like it's only going to be speed 1. So I would say that's a 1. I like the speed idea of it. I think speed's totally fine.
You'll run into the larger maps like this.
Yeah, cross healing. If they could fix cross healing, they get all the money.
With Foyata Quarry and such. But the power-ups exist only in the 8-on-8 maps, because for the 4-on-4 maps, they're a little bit more concentrated, a little bit more focused on that competitive vibe.
So no sigils and 4v4s.
Power-ups back. We thought that fit very well with the mantra of having 8-on-8 be a little bit more relaxed. Some of the other stuff you get with 8-on-8 is a bit of that Cyrodiil vibe to a degree, where you can hang out in the rear if you're a little bit worried about getting into the fight right away. That's what siege weapons are for in Cyrodiil. 9. Yes,
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm the healer on the siege. I'll admit it. It's okay.
Right. That's all good. Yeah. But in an 8-on-8 battle, you can kind of hide back and let the masses in front of you, and you can support a little bit more. You can get in there and mix it up. The respawn timers are still the same exact idea, where there's respawns in waves in pretty much all of the 8-on-8 matches. But we do have some other changes that we're doing, and I'm going to show real quickly. We were dancing a little bit earlier. Sorry, I just go through all the dance icons.
More changes.
So I'm going to start a battleground with some commands. Obviously, don't do this on live. Anybody's like, oh my god, you cheat on live? No, I don't cheat on live. But I'm going to run a battleground here. Yes, this is internal. In the playtest, we also found a lot of the rules that we had that exist already for 3-sided, which work pretty well in 3-sided, weren't vibing too hot in 2-sided. One key example of this is Chaos Ball. A lot of people go get the Chaos Ball, bring it back to their spawn point.
Yo, they're going to kill Chaos Ball?
And when
they're giving us a pet, and then they're taking it away.
We found without that third team, that kind of resulted in a lot of stalemates, or a lot of heavily lopsided, 500 to 0 scores. So with a lot of the 3-sided battlegrounds, a lot of the 2-sided battlegrounds, there's going to be 3 Chaos Balls, not just 1. That was a nice, simple solution that we looked into.
Oh, never mind. Now there's 3 Chaos Balls. What? What the hell?
Outside of just, the Chaos Ball exists, you pick it up, and, you're doing damage and hurting people. So we started to explore a really old idea where when you pick up the Chaos Ball, things can change a little bit more different. So in this case, I'm going to pick up this Chaos Ball and get turned into a werewolf behemoth. You can see that your hotbar changes out. You can't pick up another Chaos Ball when you have this Chaos Ball.
What?
So I'll run over here so you can see. I can't actually get the thing. Just look at it, be angry.
Chat's loving this. I like it.
Yeah. So you do have, abilities that should be familiar to those of you who have done dungeons. We have actually highly edited these abilities so they are more tuned to PvP and player versus player combat. But as I'm, slow hoofing it around, you can see how there's some power-ups. There's another Chaos Ball here that also transforms you to something else. But I'm going to die here because
so it transforms you to something else. So each Chaos Ball will transform you.
Respawn, you pop back up. And I'll go over here real quick. And, it has the same old
I don't know how I feel. I hate werewolves, and now they make you into a werewolf during Chaos Ball. This is like my worst nightmare.
They reset. But on the other Chaos Ball, you can turn into the Vampire Lord. So, again, this takes a lot of cues from, the actual vampire skill lines. You can actually teleport with the ball on you. And then you all have a heavy attack and light attack overrides as well. So
I like this is because it's unique. I like that they're experimenting with something completely different.
Sets and trying to spice them up a touch. There's a lot of other tech we have, which is more focused around, well, rounds, for lack of a better way to word it. We know that in games like Street Fighter, Tekken, or even Counter-Strike and other, popular shooter, arena style games, they have this concept of rounds. And I died again. That's okay. That's one thing I always tell people too. If you're gonna hop into PvP, you're gonna die. That's the way.
It's gonna happen, right? It's just part
That's
of the game.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please be
Or if you're
lucky.
like me, you die
here,
a lot.
Please.
I'm gonna hop to another battleground, which is sort of more woodsy based, and again, this kind of gets us.
I never liked Chaos Ball, so to me, at least, this is better than Chaos Ball.
It's very overgrown. It's got this lush.
A shout out to Lycanthropy Gaming, by the way. Best place to go for all your werewolf builds.
This round, the map is that you still have the firewalls that exist to keep you locked in the pen. We did add some, for lack of a better way to word it, not necessarily spawn protection, but get you into the fight. So if you're in your spawn point for longer than 2 minutes, you actually get kicked into the gameplay space. So that way you don't have to worry about people just squatting in their base. We know that was sometimes some feedback.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of you who are keen-eyed, if you look in the upper right, you'll see that there's some new icons up there. So for games which have rounds, we also have lives for this. So similar to, Mario, where if you have a couple lives when you start, if you die, game's over. In the case of Battlegrounds, mainly on the competitive side of the 4v4s, we're going to have lives for you. You get but so many respawns, and then you're done.
I like this a lot.
For the rest of that round. And the Battlegrounds are for competitive, as you can see right there, best of 3. 3 rounds each. So if you win the first 2 rounds, Battlegrounds over, you go. Those rounds are each 5 minutes. This is all subject to change via playtesting and such. But yeah, this is one of the 8-on-8 maps that we allow rounds to.
Rounds for deathmatch, total amount of revives that you can get without getting rezzed by a soul gem is incredible. I like this a lot. 3 total rounds, best of 2. This is great. This is a great change to deathmatch.
Yeah, just kind of twiddling your thumbs waiting. Now you can actually watch what the rest of your team is doing.
Yep.
I don't know if that you get 5 revives. I don't know if that'll be the same in the 4v4 because he's on the 8v8s right now.
Regular overland. It feels like you're fighting in overland areas. I really enjoy that.
That's one of the things when talking to our lore masters, we have ideas for what we want maps to look like, gameplay wise, geometrically and such. But when we start looking at themes and things along those lines, that's where trying to root it in the world happens. This is another power up, which is just an ultimate power up. When you click it, it just gives you like a 500 ultimate, I think, just right off the rip. But with the power ups, if anybody remembers this, when you activate them, they actually activate in the area around the activation, and it's friend and foe. So you got to be real careful when you activate those things to make sure you're not giving don't want to give your enemies some bonuses.
What do you mean by GVG, Concats?
Maps have a lot of variance to them, different layouts. And again, like we were talking there, it feels very lived in. It's got that cool vibe to it of...
This map refresh is beautiful. I'm glad that they added new maps. They're actually different too based on if it's 4v4, 8v8. Rounds as a system for deathmatch is also incredible. I love that.
Something else to bring up is that before anybody asks, is there a Capture the Relic in 4v4? That's another game mode that we actually excluded from the 4v4 gameplay. Because again, Capture the Relic in some of those maps, which are really, really tiny, that I actually will jump to one of those next and kind of show you the difference between.
So there's no Capture the Relic in 4v4, which is probably good. It probably would just become chaotic. But there are group v group in Cyrodiil, but really not in Battlegrounds as often.
You know, we get asked a lot when we ask the community questions is, you know, in terms of like rewards and stuff, you know, are we looking at rewards here for, you know, BGs? Are we refreshing those a little bit while we're thinking about these new modes as well?
Oh, indeed. It's fortuitous you should bring that up.
Funny, you should ask.
So
Right?
there are. I know that we have been trying to get the PvP update refreshes occurring on the odd updates. Obviously, we didn't have them for 43 because we knew that 44 was coming. So the rewards of the worthy sets that were going to be in 43 are in 44.
Thank you for the gifted sub, Rothco123. Thank you.
Battlegrounds as well. So there's 6 new PvP sets. This is just one of them that I have equipped, and here's another one that I have equipped. So everybody can screenshot like crazy. You're gonna get these sets are gonna be on PTS. So you know when you're playing.
6 new PvP sets as rewards.
And what we wanted to deliver with this update was something for the people who really like to do BGs. The rewards were refreshed for that. The leaderboards also have gotten an adjustment where there's just one leaderboard now. We knew that we did have, you know, flag games, land grab, deathmatch. Now it's just one. It's just called competitive. And the only way you get rewards for that is queuing into the 4-on-4. So for everybody that likes to just, you know, take their time, have fun, 8-on-8, you'll get rewarded over the course of, you know, your play sessions. But for those who want to get those rewards sooner, as well as some more rare ones, that's how you do. You get those via 4-on-4, via the leaderboard, which is a weekly leaderboard based off your medals that you earn. So similar to the ones we have, but again, it's just one leaderboard.
You guys like that?
Like ultra competitive, because again, we heard from feedback. You know, we wanted
And thank you for the subscription, T Dot. Thank you.
teleport that just happened. But you can see how this is a 4-on-4.
So you get better rewards if you do 4v4. That's more of the competitive mode that puts you on the leaderboards. They didn't say what really the rewards were, just that they were getting better. But then 8v8 is more of the casual daily rewards. He's just going over like the capture points and whatnot. I'm just kind of like refreshing what he said. So there's going to be new sets, a leaderboard refresh, but the leaderboards are only going to update after 4v4 modes are completed, not any of the 8v8. So that'll be like the 8v8 will be like the non-competitive. You go get your daily transmutes probably, and the 8v8 is the competitive work up the leaderboard. They did say the leaderboard would be better, but they didn't, and that there would be rarer rewards for 4v4, but they didn't say what those were. Nothing for cross save was mentioned yet, Hunter. I'll put their audio back in. I just paused them because they were just yapping about the map.
I'm going to cheat. And res. Right in the slaughterfish again. Good job. But you can kind of get an idea here of the difference in the map sizes. We have one other that I can show real quick as well for sizing comparisons for everybody. Okay. To give you that idea of how much smaller the 4-on-4s are, because they really are intended to be, you know, arena fights where you get in and it's just there's nowhere to go.
More intense, yeah.
Right, yeah, and that's part of that feedback that we got, that some people want that intense, ultra competitive vibe, and that's what the 4-on-4 does provide. But the rounds aspect of that too does give you a bit of a respite in between. So like, you know, let's say you lose round 1, you got your in between round.
I love this, by the way. Rounds, incredible.
Rethink our strategy, and then the firewalls drop and you go again. That is also some of the feedback that we got, where we know that 15 minutes of go that currently exists with the Battlegrounds can be exhausting, you know, mentally as well as, you know, your hands. You're doing a lot of work. But this Battleground is going to spin up here, and I can show you some of the unique features of this map as well. That's something we tried to focus a lot on too.
I don't know, Steven, how much more there's going to be. That's what I don't know. It's hard to know because they're just, you know, if they want to talk about something, flesh it out. They're just talking about the 4v4 modes right now, the maps and whatnot. It's hard for me to form an opinion about the whole update without knowing everything that's coming inside of it. So it's a bit tricky. So there's only going to be 2 domination or flags to get. How's it going, Valhalla? So there's definitely tweaking a lot of the battleground stuff, and they mentioned tweaking the rewards, but they didn't say this is your. They said there's new sets and there's better rewards for 4v4, but we don't know what those are yet.
4v4, 2-point capture. So there's no need to worry about, oh my god, we're going to run out of lives and be screwed. Lives and rounds are all things that we can turn on and turn off on individual battlegrounds. So we got a ton of flexibility to make a lot of different game modes, which is really, really cool. In the 8-on-8 matches, we have 5 capture locations to get in 2 of the maps. 2 of the other ones just have 3. So there's a big variety of. There's also something over here that a lot of people are going to recognize. You can purge this though.
That's kind of cool.
Oh,
I like
you
that
can
there's
purge those.
status stuff. There's like you
As a
can round
Templar,
on
I feel a
one
little
map,
better, but those are my mortal.
evil plants on another. I like that there's a little flavor in these maps. It can be a little frustrating if you're a brand new player. You walk over, you get killed by a plant, but I think overall it will be a good addition to have stuff like that.
It's still going to be no CP, and there will be queues for the 10 to 49, which is only going to be the 8-on-8s. When you hit 50, then you get access to the 4-on-4 competitive. That also is no CP, but item sets are allowed across the board. This lines up with what we just recently did, where we had the no CP campaigns allow item sets to proc. So we're trying to make that friction between moving between the different battleground modes a little bit easier. And since all the battlegrounds themselves and some of Imperial City was sort of like this weird in-between state where only like procs were allowed in some but not in the others. So we were like, no, just bulldoze that, make it so that procs are allowed but no CP. That being said, we could always explore the possibility of allowing CP in battlegrounds. So we have a lot of flexibility with the system across the board for the 8v8s as well as the 4v4 rule sets or any sort of allowances or restrictions we wanted.
So below 50, only 8v8, no competitive 4v4. So 4v4 is the competitive mode, and it's all no CP.
Now I know you talked about how there's 6 of the new PvP item sets. There's also 4 new outfit styles, which look really cool, and a new adornment that folks can get through here.
Styles.
And, a lot of that, again, we're trying to focus on the leaderboard being your primary point of acquisition for a lot of the new stuff. Again, you can do the 8-on-8 matches and take your time slowly acquiring things, but again, if you want to get them first, both of the rewards from 4v4 as well as the leaderboards have higher chances of getting the new stuff, which is what we're trying to
incredible
mode where we've revisited how itemization, how the flow of that works to reinforce what we want to reinforce. In this case, the competitive side, giving them access to the new shinies first. Yep. Again, you can still earn them in there.
I'll give the TLDR as like when we get to a stopping point.
Oh, how about MMR for this? I know,
This is
my
important,
biggest
this
fear is
MMR.
always, getting matched up with people who are just, far better than me, and I don't feel like I have a chance. But is there any way we're leveling the playing ground
Got you, boo.
and helping players out?
Yep. So with competitive, that will be mainly where MMR comes into play the most. We're going to be, obviously with two-sided, there's some things we had to address with like quitters, leavers, joining in progress, anything along those lines. If you join a match that's in progress in the competitive territory, your MMR isn't going to get boosted or hit depending upon if you won or lost. If you're on a team where you had to have people join in because people quit, your team's not going to get as penalized. So we're hyper aware of MMR movement in two-sided and in a competitive environment on how to have that be addressed. With 8-on-8, there's no MMR taken into account for that because it's more, bedlam. It's just like, like kind of like Cyrodiil, just in a mini version of it where you're going to get a mishmash of everything out there. So MMR isn't taken into account for that. That being said, for MMR, we're also looking at a more aggressive degrading of your MMR if you go inactive. It's a very long tail right now for how MMR slowly fades off.
MMR is skill-based matchmaking, by the way. Those of you who are confused.
Period where if you are a competitive player, you keep playing, and that 7 days can either line up with your leaderboard push or not. It's one of those things that we're going to be paying attention to as well pretty heavily, especially considering right now MMR is pretty far banned across the player base. But we're also looking at doing a monthly reset for MMR across the board too, where similar to all of our monthly resets, MMRs are going to get wiped back down to base, which your MMR is based off of like a highest AVA rank, as well as just a base number, and then it goes.
MMR is something that's very hard to balance. Very hard.
Board push.
Yeah.
And that's kind of nice because right now some of the feedback that we've received is I have no shot. Like if people get way ahead of me, I got no shot. So the weekly leaderboard resets, as well as the faster MMR degrade, as well as the reset for MMR, is trying to give everybody a chance.
That's good.
Hey, Wheeler,
it's still going to be competitive though.
Would you mind, just for the folks in chat, I see a lot of people who are like, what the heck is MMR? What is he talking about? Like, what's the Cliff Notes version here?
Yeah, so MMR is matchmaking rating. So it's basically what we use to match you up, sort of like how Mrs. Tales was talking about, that we have a number or a ranking associated with every character, and then you get matched up preferentially against people with a similar rating. Sometimes, obviously in those late night hours when there's not as many people in queue, you may have some of those broader differences between each other, but we use that to try and get people matched competitively as best as we can.
Now, one
you're
thing,
actually going to be able to see that too.
Oh yeah, you can go ahead and show.
Yeah, your ratings are going to be listed there. And by the way, this says solo random, group random. The only ones that are going to be available are going to be 4v4 competitive and 8v8 standard. I get to see solo and group because I have special GM power, fancy account. But yeah, it's just going to be 4v4 compet and 8v8 standard. That's going to be listed.
Now, one other thing I wanted to make sure that we touch on, we have a new benefit for those who have ESO Plus membership. We're going to be giving an increase to Alliance points, AP, and Telvar that you can earn if you have an active membership, which is pretty cool. I think it's like a 10% increase. Right?
Will that affect Emperorship?
And that is actually shown in your advanced stat page too, which I got showing up on the screen.
I mean, like, great. Obviously, I'd love 10% more, but like, I'm a little worried that now you have to have ESO Plus if you want to be the Emperor.
It's the 3v3v3 fate.
Mm-hmm.
People are asking if they're going away completely forever.
No, not forever.
Not completely forever.
They'll be back. They'll be back. Initially, again, for 44, we're going to be focused primarily on two-sided battlegrounds. We want that to be the focus for 44. But they're not like deleted from our servers or hard drives or anything like that. We can turn them on. It's not something we can do just like snap our fingers and they're ready. So it would take a little bit of an update for us to just turn them back on. But we're going to be paying attention, seeing how feedback goes. By all means, we're going to have some questions.
Kind of crazy to think that
on.
These are what the developers' characters all look like. Like, take a look. These are how they look.
Nearing victory, even though it's just by myself.
Which dev do you think plays as a werewolf? Which one do you think it is?
During our cycle here, the holidays that do pop up are going to be two-sided holidays. So when we get Domination Weekend, it's two-sided Domination Weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
And now, if you don't mind me asking, just before we send you off here, there's kind of two groups of players that we come across as content creators, and so for my new and returning players coming in to try PvP or return to PvP, why should they jump into these? What's different? What's a reason to try this again or try it for the first time?
Great question.
I'm back in an 8-on-8 map because that's one of the important things that we feel that helps out. I'm flying. I'm cheating. I know. With 8-on-8, sort of how we talked about before, there's less direct pressure on your individual actions. So when you're in an 8-on-8 match, you can kind of hide in the back. You don't need to be the blitzer that runs up and kills people. You can get the lay of the land and take it a little bit slower. Whereas in 4-on-4, which is the current 3-sided, your actions are really magnified. Like if you miss a heal and somebody dies, like you're in trouble. So in 8-on-8, it gives you a better opportunity to get used to it, dip your toes into it. The other thing about 2 teams versus 3 is that's also a little bit easier for people to get their head around. Like 3-sided, besides Cyrodiil and a couple other games out there, isn't widely used. It's either 2 teams or pretty much free for all. Or if you're making custom games and various shooters, you can have different subdivisions of teams. So 2-sided is also something that helps a lot of people just sort of grok it and get into it easier. But also, what we were talking about with those rewards, we're trying to have rewards that are earnable via doing 8-on-8s or 4-on-4s. Obviously, they're going to be pulling from the same pool, but a higher chance in 4-on-4. But you can still get that new gear that actually helps you in PvP, like the gear that we're having, displayed.
Yeah, the chat's not happy, but to be fair, you can't judge now. You have to wait to see everything first.
Activities, stuff like when you dodge, or especially when you
Everybody's saying shameless plug. Where's my shameless plug?
P sets on. So Battlegrounds are a good way to hop in there and get those PvP rewards to get your feet wet and get going. But the other aspect of it that makes 2-sided nice is the power-ups. The fact that you have some things that give you a lot of damage or a lot of speed or mitigation, or even the werewolf and vampire variants. So we're trying to explore ways that make you change up how you play while you're actually in the battleground, which we hope will give people a lot more opportunity and desire to get into PvP versus I don't want to do that. I'm scared of it. So
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Absolutely.
I do want to just kind of acknowledge also. I see chat asking about Cyrodiil. We are talking about Battlegrounds right now. This is what is coming at update 44. But I do just want to acknowledge, like, we see you talking about Cyrodiil. We know you're super anxious to get some updates on Cyrodiil. But the focus, at least for right now on this stream, is the 2-sided Battlegrounds. And then, of course, we're going to talk about some other stuff that's coming to 44, like the new companions and some of this other stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Then just one final question is, obviously, we love our new returning players, but we have a lot of really great PvPers in the current community that have been waiting very, very long time for this. And like I said, watching chat, I see some people are super excited. Some people are a little worried about some aspects. How should our current PvP players be looking at that from that side of things?
Yeah, this gets back to the 4-on-4 side, where it's for those
The chat is going crazy.
the frenetic pace, or really like showing that they're
And yeah, Robert, it's like the sigils.
4-person teams. Sorry, I had a hiccup. This gives you those opportunities in extremely tight locations to show how much of a badass you are, for lack of a better way to word it. You can see that in those smaller maps, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You can see pretty much them the whole time when they're at their spawn point. So you kind of are like, it's almost like that mental chess game of like, all right, who's going first? But we do ever get out of the spawn point. But again, like the single leaderboard is something to really push that competitive drive in people. Before we had 3 leaderboards, and you can kind of specialize for being.
I agree with this, by the way. I really liked that the leaderboards are tied to better rewards. I liked it when you're playing the competitive mode that you get a better chance to get these new sets, because that means you're going to be able to sell them for more money. I like this.
1 point or 2 point. And again, there's no chaos ball on there, and the only other stuff is like team deathmatch, which is pure, we're better than you, we can kill you faster than you can kill us. And again, with lives, we do have an override actually in the team deathmatch competitive matches that actually, if you wipe out the enemy team's lives, round is over, you won. So we even have some extra little layers on top of that, besides just trying to get to that 500 score. Like, yeah, try to wipe the other team out. Actually get in there and do it. Now for domination, we don't have that rule set override. We could toggle it. We also have the capability to say, instead of 3 lives or 5 lives, we could say you get 1 life. But like, you get 1 death and that's it. So we could go hardcore. Like, we could go really hardcore with the competitive queue. So that's what we're looking at in terms of what can excite a PvPer. That thrill of, I just took away your respawns entirely. Like, we can go that deep if we need to. But for now, again, we're seeing how this first PTS cycle goes, where competitive is mostly 3 or 5 lives. They're all going to be 3-round matches if there are rounds, but pay attention to your HUD when you get into the match, and hopefully we get some really cool streams out there of people going at it.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be. And again, like, this is coming on Monday, so I know Wheeler's going to be looking out, watching live streams of people going through and trying it out. There's going to be, feedback threads, so we definitely want to hear what everybody thinks of this.
I will be able to stream it on Monday. I don't have PTS. I'm a console player. Useless.
Now, right?
Yep. And again, that leaderboard is going to have unique, cool stuff in there that you can, walk around and be like, look what I'm a PvPer. So we're trying to, again, we're listening to the PvPers out there wanting to show off,
just looking at the chat is hilarious.
Masters of their craft at killing people or keeping people alive in the case of Mrs. Tails and myself. So, the competitive side is good.
All right. Well, I want to give a huge thank you to...
All right, we're going to give a quick TLDR because they're doing their thank you. So 4v4 competitive mode, 8v8 not competitive mode. 4v4 competitive will count towards leaderboards, 8v8 will not. 4v4 modes will give you access to the new sets at a higher drop rate. The higher you go up the leaderboards, the more drops you get. And I think you also have a higher chance to get the new outfit styles. These will be tradable, which will be a great economic incentive to play competitive Battlegrounds. There's only 1 leaderboard. It resets weekly. Your MMR, it sounds like they're still experimenting with, which is your matchmaking. What other questions do you guys have? What else should I highlight here? I'm trying to think of all the TLDR things. All new maps. There's 4v4 maps, 8v8 maps. They're different. The 8v8s have sigils. You can't do competitive in below 50. You can only rank competitive if you're doing 4v4, which only exists above 50. I would love a global championship, honestly. I would get destroyed, but,
Thanks again to Brian. We are not finished, though. So just to recap again, update 44 coming to PTS on Monday, September 16th. It is launching on PC Mac October 28th and on consoles November 13th. And again, for anybody who maybe tuned in a little bit late, we were just kind of starting this stream talking about PvP. So we're going to be going into what's coming also in the update 44 base.
Do you guys have any questions so far?
About with the Battlegrounds, the new maps and all of that. That is part of the base game. It is part of update 44. So next we're going to be kind of talking through some other things that are coming, and then we'll get into the new companions and a few other things towards the end of the stream. So we are not done yet. But now we would like to bring on our next dev guest. We have Carrie Day, who is one of our systems designers. Welcome in, Carrie. Thanks for joining. I don't know if you had much of a choice. We were like, hey, you want to do the stream? You're going to do it.
No, I'm really excited to be here. It's been, I think, 7 years since my last ESO live.
It has been a really long time. I know. Somebody needs to go dig in the vault and find the last time Carrie was on a live stream.
That's okay. Oh, that's okay.
I'm sure you were great.
I wonder if these will be base game companions.
Then
I think that was all pre-child for all of us, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Which would drive me crazy because I just made my new player checklist and I said get companions if you have these DLCs.
There's the companions right after that. Carrie, before we get started though, what is your role on the ESO team?
I am currently a systems designer, so that team can encompass many, many things, of which some I'm going to show off for some of my other teammates today. Systems can include housing, itemization, achievements, those types of things. I've been specializing in the companions for the last 2 years, so
She's very quiet. If you need me to turn her up, just let me know.
their rapport, their non-combat perks, their ability suites, all those types of things. I've been working very diligently to bring those companions to life. They're very special to me.
Fantastic. For anybody in chat saying that drops don't appear to be on, they are on, luckily. All you have to do, maybe just try giving the window a refresh and see if that bumps it a little bit. All right, so now let's head over to fancy PowerPoint land here. We're going to go through some of the other things that are going to be in the Update 44 base game. So, of course, we do have the 4v4 and 8v8 Battlegrounds that Brian just talked about.
Got our recap.
We are also happy to introduce a new scribing grimoire. It's called Banner Bearer. So basically what happens is your character is going to get a banner similar to the bannerman that you see in Trials. And this is going to provide a buff to the group's ability
I fucking love that.
archetype. Carrie, I think you have this to show in-game, yeah?
I do have this to show in game. I'm pretty excited.
Admittedly,
Let's
that's
see
fucking
what we
awesome.
got here. Oh, let me unmute your game.
Okay.
There we go.
I just have some ambient music. So the new grimoire is called Banner Bearer. What's really, really cool about this is that it is a no-cost ability. You actually are reducing your health, magicka, and stamina recovery to provide an aura bonus to those in your group within 8 meters. It's all pretty cool. So when you cast the ability, it is a toggle, and you can see that aura around you. It's pretty big.
Oh,
This is actually a resource restore visual.
that's fucking cool.
So you actually increase the resource restore for your allies in that circle. And you can see if I hit it again, it turns off. And then also if you weapon swap, you do need it on both bars if you're going to have it in that rotation.
After playing Warhammer, I love this. I'm gonna be the guy that holds the banner, rallies everybody, and charges out. Do you think bannermen will now get targeted more? This is sick, and it probably will be good for PvE content as well too.
With an aura, in this case, is increasing fire damage. And so there are, I think, 8 different focus scripts that are supported with this grimoire. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 8. And all have different visuals to help with communication.
There's one for immobilize. Does that keep your
multicolor?
Does that
with
make you
resource
immune?
restore.
Does that make your group
And
immune
just
to
for the sake of
immobilizations?
people
That
who
would
want to
be
screen grabs, this is
huge.
the
Some of
quick
these could be really
snapshot
good. They'd be
of
terrible for ball
one of the
groups.
tooltips
All
for
the ball groups
Although
would
I'm
just
missing
whip
the
out
script. There
their
you go.
banners,
Here's
but
physical damage. So it
Fantastic.
increases your martial damage, your physical damage by 6%. It reduces your personal.
that is a great point that Goblin makes. They need a bard whose only skill is something similar. This could be kind of like a little test to see if people jive with this. I will be whipping out it's just a cool concept. Just whip out the banner in a PvP fight. Like, boys, rally to me. This is just cool conceptually.
I think it
I'm
has
very
a
excited.
really interesting gameplay to help your allies. I do think
Yeah.
it has a strong support role. You can buy it, the grimoire, for 50,000 gold from the vendor, but you do need to level your alliance war. So it is going to be found in the support skill line to purchase, similar to how we've had to unlock from those other.
Also, you have to level up your support skill line. That's cool. So you kind of have to get the PvP skill potentially for this.
Mind moving your mic a tiny bit closer to your
Oh.
mouth. I did bump you up on my side, but I think oh no, look, now she's just destroying it. I'm like, hey, bring
My
it
mic
closer.
just fell
Forget
out
it.
of my headset. I was like,
Okay.
I do, Steven. I think this will be used
Forget
for
this
PvE
mic.
as well.
All right.
Because it sounds like the only negative is your recoveries go down significantly. I think a healer could easily heavy attack weave and build in a banner build. This could be pretty important for trial content. Maybe for dungeons as well, we'll see.
We have additional support for 14 focus scripts.
Okay.
So we are adding support for 14 focus scripts, 2 existing grimoires. We're going to be adding more frost support, as well as some interesting new options across damage dealing grimoires. So a couple examples of this. We're not going to go through all of them. Vault is now going to have a bleed. Smash will have a poison. Elemental explosion. Oh my gosh. Elemental explosion will have physical damage. So of course we'll have the full list in the patch notes on Monday. You can keep an eye out for that. Next thing we want to touch on, we have 4 new skill styles. Now, Undo.
Oh, these are my favorite.
I know, it's fun. Undo will have purple. Accelerate will also have purple. Now, there are 2 here, Puncture and Force Shock. It's not a recolor. They're actually going to have all new visual effects. So Puncture is molten, which that's not a color. That's a whole new effect. And then Force Shock is going to have Wild Burn. Carrie, are you set up to show that off, actually?
I think I am. Would you like to see?
I mean, I like changing how things look too, but you know.
I'll show Force Shock first, but I have to say that I am a little biased that the Puncture is super cool. So the Wild Burn is the skill style for Force Shock. It's really cool. It's got this teal color, and even I think it has like leaves in the visual, so it looks like the leaves are falling.
That does look really cool.
That is nice.
Scroll out again, and then if you want to see the basic version.
Yeah, it sounds like, Robert, a lot of these changes will be really impactful. Like the banner one is a whole new way to build out dungeon teams, trial teams, PvP potentially as well.
And then lastly, which is my personal favorite skill style, this will fit all of those Dragonite tanks so well. You have this molten look, so you have these ribbons of molten lava coming from the target as you hit it.
My
cool.
DK tank appreciates this so much.
Yes, no, this definitely fulfills the fantasy. So the Puncture
Yes.
normally is just this plain stab, but that molten lava burst is the name. It looks so good.
You know, it's
Very excited about
you know
that.
what's even better about these? They're all sourced in game through gameplay, so you'll be able to earn these. We'll have, again, details in the patch notes on how to get them, or maybe we aren't going to tell you. I'm actually not sure yet, but yeah, these will all be sourced in game.
Yeah, the Wild Burn I also love for those going for their, wood elf, complete their wood elf aesthetic, or their...
I mean, I like this stuff. I think that sometimes ZeniMax should be a little bit more, here's what we're doing. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, back to the PowerPoint.
To item set sourcing and currencies. Now,
Oh?
bear with me for a second, because I'm
Oh?
actually, hold on.
Tell me
I'm
more,
gonna mute
Gina.
that real quick. So yeah, bear with me as I kind of talk through this just a little bit. We're not going to get into all the details here, but just at a high level. The first thing we're doing is converting Imperial City vault keys into a new currency, which is going to help just free up some additional inventory space and hopefully simplify access to the vaults.
Good.
So
Yeah,
again,
easy
we'll
peasy.
have a lot more details in the patch notes. The next thing we're doing is improving item sourcing for Imperial City by replacing the old treasure chest that used to be in the vaults with new vendors. So each vault vendor, it has around like 8 new item sets that you can purchase either with Telvar or with these new key fragments. So it's going to
Interesting.
make it a lot easier to buy the exact sets that you want. Big news, I think. Every Imperial City
It's kind of how I feel, Sharky.
curated. Woohoo! So again, it'll just make it.
everywhere rejoice.
Yes, I know.
Tanks.
It-
Get that frost staff now.
It is gonna make it a lot.
Bro, Rip selling Telvar curated drops to get ice staffs?
Some changes to the vendors that are found in the Imperial City sewers, so they have better organization and grouping of similar items, and are just going to follow similar standards to other PvP vendors and those in Infinite Archive. So one thing real quick, the most notable one is the Telvar Jewelry Merchant is now going to be the Telvar Rotating Merchant, and it's going to carry mythic antiquity leads, skill styles and skill style fragments,
Oh,
treasure map containers, and scripts for scribing, in addition to the gold PvP jewelry.
that's amazing.
So again, this is all in the patch notes on Monday.
I wish they would
just
do
kind
that
of
for
trying to give you
Alliance
all
points.
a
I'll
high
take it
level
for
look at what
Telvar.
is coming here. The last thing wanted to touch on real quick is we're increasing the drop rates of some of the more rare furnishing crafting materials, so they drop more frequently. This includes
I'm tingling. I feel the economic change is tingling in me.
Oh, my Housers, get excited.
Speaking of Housers, next thing, of course, are some new homes and furnishings coming in Update 44. We did want to give you just kind of a sneak peek of what these look like in game, which Carrie is going to show us around and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I noticed some really keen eyes noticed that I am actually in one of our new houses.
I saw that in chat, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so people.
Oh my gosh, you're right. This is going to be another vendor to cover every week. Oh, the Tuesday vendor videos is going to be so... Do you think they're going to make them on Tuesdays? For the Tuesday vendor videos are already long enough. Maybe they can give us like a Thursday rotating vendor. Or maybe he'll have the same items as Filer Ul, but one will be Telvar, one will be Archival Fortunes. Oh, that's so crazy. This is one of the new homes, by the way. Yeah, so it's only for the Imperial City. So only for Telvar. Which I think is good, because if everything is curated now from the Imperial City, like, not to be rude, but like, what do you need Telvar for? If you can get your powerful assault super cheap, and you can get Hajaku ruins from Mid-Year Mayhem, everybody gets like thousands of them. So you can go all the way down, that's cool. I mean, they're just yapping about this house right now. I'm just over here excited about these vendor changes. Well, but I don't know if is it going to rotate on Tuesdays. Nobody's asking that question. Everybody's all yapping about these houses, you know? All you guys are like, oh my gosh, a new ESO house. And I'm like, whoa, 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 a new vendor. Everybody focus.
Or processing facility, and you can see all kinds of Dwemer machinery. This is the furnished house, and my current favorite part is mine cart tracks. Our new furnishing items coming, so you can make some tracks. And then also there is a second entrance exit for this house. This is the leave home, so you can.
I thought she was about to say you could ride the mine cart.
And you come out right around here on the map. So it's a cool house because you can come in two ways, leave two ways.
You can live your
Awesome.
your Donkey Kong dreams and fantasies now, right?
I do hope that he's not on Tuesdays, but I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to make it another Tuesday vendor.
Where you would process that ore. And what's also really cool about this house is that in the furnace is a functioning blacksmithing station.
Sweet.
So it comes with a blacksmithing station. Part of it, you can really get that lava glow.
Yeah, don't. Oh man, they're gonna make me try and pronounce the name of this. It's Dwarven, so you know. It's Cathedral Deep Mines. We're gonna go with that.
Yep.
We just call it Deep Mines for short. But
Yes. There are 3 rooms up top here, and then there is also a second story, which is I've been told designed thematically to be more.
Yeah. You housing fiends are having a heyday right now. They should have just opened with this. Everybody would have been so excited. Oh my gosh, a new house. The greatest update ever. We're saved. I'm over here like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I wonder if they're going to do an Imperial City change too. So they're adding new Imperial City sets, but are they also making it to where all the vaults have like different stuff? So like, you guys know how you can buy Deadly Strike, for example, at the Cyrodiil main keep for 20k? But you can also buy it from Bruma for 12. I'm wondering now if that's how it's going to work. Like, if you get the Imperial City keys and you go into like one of these districts, can you buy the sets for cheaper? Because they said you can use Telvar also, but obviously the risk is if you go to these vaults with your Telvar on, you can get yoinked. You know, you can get gently destroyed and then lose your Telvar. That's where I'm curious how the new Telvar merchants that are around in the vault areas will work.
awesome view. And it might be
The
one of my
next
favorite houses.
I actually think I'm gonna.
Isn't that crazy? They talk about the vendors for like 30 seconds, but they'll sit and yap about these houses for hours. And it's because there's probably, I have 141 viewers right now between Twitch and YouTube. I guarantee you the majority of you are more excited about these houses.
So this is another notable home. It's in the Rift.
It's actually the Rift Cyrodiil border. So on one section of the house, you can actually see into Cyrodiil.
Yeah. Now, one thing that's cool about this, the housing team wanted to mention, is this is kind of roughly based on an existing museum in Baltimore. Inspired by a Baltimore museum. Really cool. Yeah.
Which I think is really great. I'm calling out here. I did fly up here, but I know you can build up here. Every rampart you see is a buildable space. So you can build your path galore and explore all the ramparts of this home, which I think is absolutely great. I didn't have any items to build up to it. There are 2 side courtyards that are very, very similar in appearance, but you can see
like my cat
the building and views from this are absolutely incredible. Like you have a side river, you know, even a cute little boat. But the best part, I think, is in the middle, inside.
Yes. Yeah, and again, but this is just kind of a preview of the houses. You know, we'll have more information on sourcing and all of that stuff
sit on my lap
later.
Do you want to say hello? You want to say hello?
Yes. So this house is built with the idea of being the premier place to show off all of your collective goodies that you've earned, whether or not they're Undaunted busts or achievement furnishings or all kinds of things. So you walk in right into this brand.
She says she would like ZeniMax to add a treat vendor. That could be arranged. That's what she would like to see.
You collect, but what I think is really cool is this side. It's shown in the same way. It's mirrored on both sides. But you can see there's additional plots and built into the wall plaques. So it's the perfect place to put those Undaunted busts.
All those monster heads, yes. I love it.
All those heads. And you can also have a ton of flat wall space for all of your paintings and things. If you're like me, you play way too much Tales of Tribute and have collected.
Those rugs do look amazing. I know that I'm like, you know, want to get back to the important parts of the update, but I'm a man of my word. I love the rugs. So
there's a nice long balcony. The front of it, you can see down.
Yeah, everybody's complaining about the frame rate drops. And it's not even furnished. Like you can see people in the chat are complaining about the FPS. Oh my gosh.
Another floor. I need to find
another floor.
I want somebody who has collected all of, you know, all the achievements, all the things to just get this house and deck it out. And then put it on home tours, right? Put it in a listing so we can all see it.
Just to call out, this is the upper level of this first lobby you saw with the statues, and you can even build all the way up into the dome, which I think is great. Has a nice round path. And then coming up, there are 2 acropolises, if I said that right.
We are spending so much time on this house. They literally are adding a brand new vendor that gets like 30 seconds of mention. And then this house gets like 5 minutes. I mean, listen, I love houses too, right? I love them. But unless you're about to tell me that we can add, you know, like 1,000 furnishings to here, I don't know about this.
Sure.
That's awesome.
I mean, we've had, you know, 10 years of ESO, the amount of collectibles and stuff that, you know, you get over the years. And I'm so excited to see, because I know people have done museums already, going through like the home tours and you know, seeing the ESO museums that people have. I'm so excited to see what people do with this one. I think this is a fantastic
lost in this house with the way people build stuff.
I like this one so much.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for these home tours. Please list them because I want to visit them.
I'm having trouble scrolling in chat. It keeps bumping me to the bottom, but I think somebody said, "Oh my gosh, what is happening?" There we go. Okay, well I can't scroll up.
Everybody's so excited.
I think somebody said that the plural version is acropolises.
Acropolises?
Right? Is that what's up? I
We're gonna have to
can't
ask
go
our
back
lore
and see it.
master. I'm gonna have to ask our writers.
I
They do
can't.
words better
I can't
than
go
me.
back. Chat. No, my scroll bar is not letting me go back anymore. Anyway, okay. So let's quickly move on. Go through the last couple things coming in base game. Where's anything? Where's my button? Here we go. So we have some updates coming to the tutorial and the main quest in the game. We're just kind of actively tweaking on that whole new player experience based on some feedback that we've seen. We'll have all the details in the patch notes on Monday. It's a whole laundry list of things that we're doing. Next, we are adding high dynamic range, or HDR, for PC.
Thank you for that.
You can look
by
forward
the way,
to that in
Margrave
update 44. The chat's still talking about
I kind of
Acropolis
glossed over it, but
versus
it's called the House of the Five
whatever it
Companions
is.
and the Rogues Lights, which was whose.
And then lastly, of course, we do have the two new
might
companions,
buy that house
which
just for
Carrie
that.
is going to be talking.
Sorry, I didn't mean to gloss over that. I was incensed and what was going on. I was like, oh, all this stuff.
Why not now?
Okay, so companions. Let me summarize for those of you guys that do not know what is the companion feature. The companions are unlockable followers similar to our assistants, but yet they comment and provide snide remarks or benefits to what you do in game. They're kind of like that player that sits on the back of your shoulder talking in, but they also fight by your side. They're really, really cool. We currently have 6 in the game, ranging from all over in the last several packages. And each of the companions typically has a combat suite similar to our
I think you're right, Julie. I think I'm being a goober over here.
class there. Well, you're going to say, but just so you know, a Necromancer companion is coming with the next 2. So now we can say all the classes are represented for these new set of companions. And each of these companions provides an extra bonus. They each bring something to the table for you to play. We call those the non-combat perk, and they can do all kinds of things. One of them, which was very positively received,
You missed it, Zombie, but I'll show it in a minute.
is Knights non-combat perk, which is
Fishing.
giving you a benefit to catch trophy fish. More advantage to that. And so we heard you of that and love of that it didn't impact your inventory. So the next 2 companion non-combat perks are going to be in that similar vein, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So the next 2 companions are going to be Tanloran, who is our first non-binary Altmer, and they are a Dragonite and Soul Magic hybrid. First time we've taken a mix of a
Don't we already have a Dragon Knight?
kit. The damage dealing line is Soul Magic. They have a very unique relationship with magic. We play with it not just in its combat, but also its story. Because of that unique relationship, they actually prefer any advantage you can find in Tamriel that will give you an edge that doesn't involve magic, such as using Ayleid Weld or using those Verses and Visions in...
To be fair, though, does Bastion really exist as a companion?
I guess their fate into their own hands and are slightly sticky hands as a thief, which has gotten them joy.
But what's their non-combat buff, though? That's what we need to know.
Have to find out more for that story. Very, very great story. Definitely have a brash and energetic type of personality.
The timeouts are crazy.
Want to have a glass of wine with wow, tongue-tied. And their non-combat perk, because of that thieving background, is going to provide players with benefits to lockpicking. And this one's a really big one. I love it. It gives you increased duration time to pick a lock. For those of you guys that might run out of time, especially in those master chests, it will increase that total time. You'll see new UI elements to show that, along with increased chance to force a lock if you're being a little bit
I was worried they weren't about to say increased pop lock too, because that would have been completely worthless.
Chance to lose a lockpick if you fail to pick that chest. So
That's good.
3 major benefits to the lockpicking minigame that come with 10 lore and that really fit into their thematic lore, and I love it quite a bit.
The chat.
And then, lastly, we have Xerath
If you can
Farr.
force lock picks,
He is
Victor.
a necromancer Khajiit.
Here's the necromancer.
So
and the
finally
furry.
finishes the Fallen Soul. So this is approaching necromancy in a very different way that we've ever seen before, and is actually sent from a past time and pulled out of his time, which is very, very interesting relationship with Azura and trying to help players find their own path to redemption as well as maybe his own. He wears heavy armor, is a two-handed greatsword, and part of him being pulled from time, he actually
There's so many timeouts.
called Jakka that kind of helps guide you and him through your story, and we're trying to incorporate that story because there's nothing worse but not having any of your stuff. So Jakka does help tag heavy stacks from around Tamriel to provide the much needed, much in demand functionality of keen eye heavy stacks. And the paw prints from this ghost cat marking these heavy tags is absolutely adorable.
It's really cute.
I love it so much. I'm really glad we can incorporate some of those elements into it. He is a lot of fun. Doesn't like...
So the Wood Elf gives you longer time to lockpick, increases your chance for pop lock, and reduces the odds of you losing a lockpick if you fail a pop lock. So that's actually pretty helpful to have, because pop locking, even if you're doing a master lock, I think caps out at like, what, 70%? So maybe we could get it to like 90%, so maybe that'll be helpful.
Both of these companions are very, very, very special place in my heart. The writers killed it. Content designers and writers, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, they are both really cool. I see chat just going crazy for them. They're super excited. Do want to make a note that both of these companions that Carrie just talked about, they will be available for purchase in the Crown Store, or if you have an active ESO Plus membership, you will have access to them. Just with the ESO Plus membership.
So you don't need to own the chapter like you did the previous ones.
From there, but they will be yours, which is pretty exciting.
Now, Carrie, I do have to ask because Sharp as Night was pretty tough to beat. I loved the story with Sharp as Night. Out of these 2 new companions, who is your favorite?
I mean, this is like picking your favorite child, which you should never do.
Yeah, but we all do it, right?
I mean, like, realistically, these are both helpful passives to have on a companion. I'm glad they didn't just make Bastion again, because his is useless, realistically. I do think increased odds for pop lock is going to be very helpful, because you could potentially get your master pick force lock up higher, is helpful. And for those of you who don't know, too, if you max out a companion's, like, if you do all their stuff, you get their passive even if you don't have them out. So I could have Isabel out and get the bonuses from the other ones if I have the achievement that unlocks their non-combat passive. So that's good to know. And I do like that you don't have to own the Gold Road chapter. As long as you had ESO Plus, you'll have these companions. I like that too. So I think conceptually, this is, kind of neat. I've never, I like Isabel, so I've never been like, oh, we need so many more companions. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, I like that they're an addition to the game.
And our voice actors are absolutely amazing. They smashed it. Tan Lauren is Vico Ortez. I hope I said that right. And
I believe you do, Star Toad. So back in Blackwood, you had to have one out to get those drops. I think that they may have changed it, but I think that you can open chests and still have a chance at companion gear as long as you own a companion. But I would have it out regardless.
So plus membership, or you can purchase separately in the Crown store. But yeah, it was awesome having you on stream again. It's been a long time.
yeah, I'm really excited about these two. I think they're our best set yet. So thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you. All right. We are going to...
It's not William, but it is because it increases your pop lock chance.
drops. I think the plan was we were going to be finished with our stream by this point, but we went a little long. So we are going to see if we can turn drops back on. I actually don't know if we can since the campaign is officially over, but we're seeing what we can do. If we cannot turn them back on, we are going to have some recap streams from various territories around the world. I need to see when the first one starts. It's going to be a little bit later in the week or even next week. So you can always tune into some of those for a second chance at that pet if you didn't get it. Now, let's talk Fallen Leaves of Westfield. This is an event that it was on PTS at one point, but this is going to be starting, September 26th, running through October 8th. It is a new in-game event that we have. Now, what we're asking you to do
I'm definitely going to steal that for my thumbnail.
Throughout Westfield from an event NPC or Lucent Citadel weekly trial quests. Now, this does require Gold Road in order to participate, but you will receive event coffers filled with rewards and bonus drops and, of course, event tickets. Now, the first coffer that you earn each day is going to be a gold quality. The subsequent ones are purple quality, and they have a chance to contain tradable style pages for an all-new Tree Sap Legion armor style. Say that 5 times fast. Crafting materials, Gold Road motif style items, Overland set items, companion gear, and more. So, for this event, we are asking you to kind of work together as a community and unlock some rewards. In order to kind of move this meter, you're going to have to complete the daily event quest, conveniently titled Fallen Leaves of Westfield, just like the event.
A community one.
Pretty self-explanatory.
You can't miss it, right? So that's going to work towards the rewards. Where is my rewards screenshot? Here it is. So the first milestone unlock is going to be that Vineyard Voroplasm pet that you see there on the left. If that's not our spirit animal,
pet after my own heart,
right?
The guy with the knife inside of it?
I need something to carry around a bottle of wine for me all day. I'm
no
just saying.
Kidding. The second milestone is a luminescing Varla Stone memento, which you see in the middle here. And then once the bar reaches 100% full bar, you'll get yourself that Russet Brecca mount that you see on the right. You also get the Tree Sap Legion Arms pack, so it matches with the armor style, which is pretty cool.
You're so true, though, Sharky. Every time they do a challenge, everybody's always like, we didn't actually hit it. You know, they just buffed us up there.
That's tunable crafting stations, transmute crystals, and more. Of course, we are going to have full details in the website article, which I believe is going live next week sometime. I want to say like towards the end of next week. So definitely keep an eye out for all the details on how to participate, all the things you can.
The slime does look nice, though.
Awesome. And of course, I mean, we still have 3 months left of this year. We talked about the September kind of recap, but we have October through December, which are my favorite months because all the holidays are coming.
Yay,
so
all the best
we
holidays.
have right, these are my favorites. I love the last half of the year. October, November, and December are each going to have a PvP weekend, deathmatch, domination, and capture the relic. As a reminder, these are going to be featuring the new two-sided Battlegrounds, so really awesome opportunity to get some bonuses while testing out the new Battlegrounds. In October, we have an Explorer celebration coming up, as well as the Beloved Witches Festival. It's that spooky time of year, not spoopy. Stop that.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so glad we're on the same page. Oh my gosh. If Dom is
no spoopies allowed. That's banned in my chat.
Thank you.
Witches Festival, stock up on Bewitched Sugar Skull recipes, sell them 6 months later. Easiest profit of your life.
And then we have in November, we're going to have an double XP boost weekend, which is, again, great time to level. As well as we're going to be revisiting the Legacy of the Bretons with the Legacy of the Bretons celebration. And then, of course, we're going to end the year.
Legacy of the Bretons, Tales of Tribute tournament, baby.
Favorites, love all of the different Tamrielic traditions that you get to learn about in that. So lots of great things come in through the end of the year.
I'm going to punt chat for spamming spoopy now. How dare you? How dare you? Lastly, want to go over some 10-year anniversary celebration meetups that we're having. These are, in real life meetups, not just in game. So in September, we do have the one in Italy happening a little bit later this week, and then next week in San Diego during TwitchCon. Now, I do want to know both of these are at full capacity. So hopefully we'll see some of you in San Diego, but we are full for both of these events. In October, we're going to be sending Rich halfway around the world. He's going to be taking a little trip down under and making a few stops in Australia. So the first being GCAP, the Games Connect Asia Pacific, happening in Melbourne on October 7th. He will be doing...
Where's the other ones in, like, Japan?
...as a live service game, because we've been running this game for 10 years now. The next one, he will be at PAX Australia in Melbourne from October 11th to 13th. They are going to be actually transforming the PAX Australia pub into an ESO tavern, complete with a live bar, some tabletop roleplay experiences.
So jealous of that.
His wings and a guest Athelia cosplayer, Vera Chimera, and more. Excuse me. Rich is also going to be doing a panel, Music of the Elder Scrolls Online, with Lara 6683. If you haven't caught Lara's live streams, by the way, they are amazing. She's a really great piano player that just, you can basically just tell her, like, oh, play this, and she could do it. She is magnificent. So that'll be a really, really cool panel. Lastly, South by Southwest Sydney on October 17th. Rich is going to be doing a panel there as well. All the panels. Celebrating 10 years of the Elder Scrolls Online.
By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, please like this stream. I love all of you.
Hopefully you can check one of those out. And lastly, Spain and Poland have their own meetups, October 17th and 19th, respectively. So you can stay tuned to local channels for updates on those. All right. Last but not least, as we mentioned earlier in the stream, the Elder Scrolls Castles just released, which is super exciting. We want to give them a huge round of applause. We do have a special message from the team at BGS that we wanted to share with all of you right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Craig Lafferty, Director of Mobile Games at Bethesda Game Studios. On behalf of the team, we are so excited to announce that our latest mobile game, The Elder Scrolls Castles, is available now globally on iOS and Android. In Castles, you're the hand of the king as you manage your kingdom. You'll build the castle of your dreams, rule over your subjects, and make critical decisions about your kingdom's future as you build your dynasty. To celebrate the game's launch, we've collaborated with developers at ZeniMax Online Studios to create a unique pet companion, much like the baby egg you might encounter inside your castle walls. This pet companion is available in the Elder Scrolls Online on September 16th. We can't wait for you to jump into castles and build your own dynasty. And we also have a brand new trailer to show you now.
Thank you for the likes on YouTube, by the way. We jumped up like 8 likes on YouTube, so thank you. Thank you all for that. What was me? What was me, Bombo? What did I do? Oh, the Hammerfell joke.
I will say that Ninetales and I have been playing Castles in the early access, and
Don't worry, I'll give an overview once they're done.
everybody checks it out. It was pretty fun. It was a nice little fun idle game to pop on,
Yes.
get ready for bed at night. So.
Definitely.
But if you are interested, you can get the half-hatched Gwarling pet through the Crown store starting next week, September 16th.
Thanks for stopping by.
This is going to be the first thing I buy as soon as I log on September 16th.
I know.
How can you not have this little guy running around behind you?
I love it. It's definitely one of my new favorite pets for sure. It is
for sure.
adorable.
Yep.
All right, folks. Want to give a huge thank you to everybody who tuned in today's stream today. Just to recap super quick, everything that you saw here in Update 44 is coming to PTS on Monday, September 16th. PC on October 28th. I don't know what month I was going to say, but it wasn't October. And console on November 13th. That includes the two-sided Battlegrounds that Brian went over with the 7 new maps, the new power-ups. This is all part of the base game. The 10% bonus to AP and Telvar.
Thank you, Eric.
And also, if you have ESO Plus, you can claim those 2 new companions that Carrie went over, or they're available.
7 new maps, and there's difference between the 4v4 and the 8v8s.
Skill styles that we showed off, all these really awesome things.
We also have coming up on the 26th of September, we're going to kick off the Fallen Leaves of Westfield event, so don't miss out on that.
Hey, don't worry, we'll give a recap.
We'll be streaming that event and kind of maybe
Absolutely.
walking people through how to complete that daily quest, yeah?
100%. We'll have guides for it and everything, but our stream is always open for questions, or if you just want somebody to run with, we're always around, so.
Awesome. Chat, can you please give a huge round of applause for Miss Ninetales, who did an amazing job co-hosting today. I mean,
thank you, Judge Blackheart,
she
for
really
the Tier 1 gifted sub. I appreciate you. You guys are fantastic. And our chat has been very nice and calm while I've been watching a lot of people get timed out on theirs.
Is Pain in the Axe live still?
And thank you, Kiffin.
Somebody let me know if Pain is still
live. Thank you for the
live,
resubscription,
I think
Kiffin.
he is the perfect person to drop a raid to, since
they're going
he
to
is,
raid Pain in the Axe.
Always in PvP, always doing Battlegrounds.
Yes.
Whoa, Gina, we're right here.
He is live. Perfect. We were going to do that. All right. So hopefully we will see some of you in San Diego next week. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on PTS on Monday.
Bye, guys.
One day we'll get raided by Bethesda. Sadly, not today. Probably. To be fair, Pain in the Axe deserves it. He is a PvP streamer. So this is, kind of like his forte. I wonder how they pick whoever's going to be the person to do it. Julie, there was a problem with the drop that they were talking about. I think that they're going to try to fix it. I suspect that they're gonna do more Twitch drops throughout the week and next week. So probably it'll probably come next week. I just woke up. What did I miss? So I think that they're finishing. So we can give a brief overview, and then everybody tell me if I'm missing anything, because I will probably miss stuff. So the Battlegrounds is being completely reworked. So Battlegrounds modes will be 4v4 competitive and then 8v8 non-competitive. So 4v4 competitive, there's going to be one leaderboard, and you can only participate if you're over level 50. And as you play on the leaderboard, you have a better chance to get 6 new sets, and you also have a chance to get, I think, 8 new outfits or 6 new outfits, something like that. So you have a chance to get those new outfits. Below 50 will always be 8v8. They changed deathmatch. There's now rounds. So Domination, Crazy King have rounds. It's best of 3. There's also for deathmatch, you only can revive 5 times at the respawn point, and I believe if your whole team gets wiped, then the round's over. But you can revive each other with a soul gem without having to waste a respawn. They've also changed Telvar. Oh no, so let's say you now get 10% more Telvar and Alliance points if you have ESO Plus, which I don't know if that affects Emperorship. I suspect that it won't, because that would be kind of crazy if it did. They completely changed the Telvar vendor, so now the Telvar drops will be curated, and all of the keys are going to open all of the vault rooms around in the Imperial City. So now it's going to be you can pay Telvar or a generic key to get into those rooms, and then you can use Telvar to buy those sets in there, and they will be curated. You can still buy them at the main place, but they're going to cost more Telvar. Also, Telvar is now going to have a rotational vendor like Filer Ul. It's going to have antiquities, it's going to have maps, it's going to have fragments. You may think, oh, Jake, did they show it off at all? No, because then they showed off 2 new homes that everyone fawned over for like an hour. So then there was these new homes that you could go see for an hour. So there's 2 new homes, obviously, neat. Then they added 2 new companions. One is focused on lock picking, which is helpful. So it increases the duration of lock picking. Pop locks increased as well. And if you pop lock and fail or lose a lock pick, you increase your chance of not breaking the lock pick. The other one gives you an increase to... the other one lets you see... what are they called? Heavy sacks in the overworld, and I think you get an extra drop from heavy sacks. I'll give my opinion in just 1 minute, J. Crod. What am I missing from the recap? So, the heavy sacks from that second companion, yes, the one of the companions is non-binary, and we watched half of the ESO chat get locked out. Then they're doing the new Westwell. The new Westwell event that comes out in a month will also be, you'll be able to essentially get different rewards. It's going to be one of the community ones. The whole community participates. Blah de blah. We have 120 concurrent viewers on Twitch right now. That is crazy. Am I missing anything, chat? Am I missing? Can we go back and watch the highlights? Wish we could go back in time and see everything that they talked about. Now it looks like it's over. Pain in the Axe got rated and has 4.6 thousand viewers. I'm so jealous. The one companion has pulled out of time, and he's somebody that Azura was real close to and whatnot. So that was kind of cool. I'm only slightly jealous about that they pulled him out. I'm curious if can we go back and watch? Can we see the highlights? I don't know if we're gonna be able to. Oh, the skill styles. Yes, new skill styles, but they're not color changes. So it now seems like the skill styles. So the puncture one. Oh, and the banners. We forgot the banners. All right, so we'll talk about the banners first, because that's actually pretty big. So you know how in a lot of games and wars and stuff, you raise your banner and you're like, oh, they added a new grimoire where you raise a banner and you can give buffs and things to people around you. And I think that's going to be huge for PvP and PvE. It looked like one of them, if people are around you, you're going to be able to prevent them from being immobilized, which would be crazy. The only drawback is when you have the banner raised, you can't bar swap unless you have it on both bars, like one of the sorcerer pets, right? So that's something to keep a note of. The other thing too is that it reduces your recoveries, like your health, your magicka, and your stamina recovery. So it costs you resources. But I think that when we do trials now, and when we do PvP content, I think that they're actually going to be people that I think that these banners are going to become meta. I do agree, Moon Powder. I think they're going to be dope. I also just love conceptually the idea of things are looking terrible. the Daggerfall Covenant's getting pushed in, and then somebody raises the banner. Now nobody can become immobilized around you, and you just charge through. Or, maybe there's one that's like fire resistance. They've got oil pots, dumping down inside a Cyrodiil, and you raise the banner and you keep yourself from getting hit by the oil pots. Like, so much of this stuff could be exceptionally cool. And that's why I'm so excited about the banner. To me, the banner thing and the Battlegrounds changes is the most exciting. And there will only be one leaderboard. Oh, looks like it's over. Does that mean we can go back and rewatch it? I guess we can rewatch it now, huh? All right, we can actually go back. Where did it have like a live recap at some point? Come on, Twitch. Come on. Yeah, ball groups are going to be even crazier. So there's that. That's not that exciting. I think it's somewhere around here. Yes, the companions are also going to be free with ESO Plus, which would be great for new players. They don't have to own any of the previous chapters. Here are the 2 new companions. There'll also be sigils inside of Battlegrounds. I don't know how I feel about the sigils inside of Battlegrounds. I mean, like, conceptually, I think it's cool, being able to use totems inside of Battlegrounds. I don't know if I like it, though. What do you guys think? Sigils inside of Battlegrounds? How's it going, Thoron? Type 1 if you like the idea of sigils inside of Battlegrounds. Type 2 if you don't. I lean towards not liking them. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm in between, though. I'm not, like, definitively one way or the other. I don't want you to think that I'm, like, 100%, don't like them. But I think it's real risky, especially if you're going the route of making these rewards for winning Battlegrounds so much better. Oh, they are changing MMR. So MMR is going to be different. They're talking about a lot of ways that they're changing it, and they're also looking at different things that they may do also. So it sounds like and for those of you who don't know, MMR is basically skill-based matchmaking. So currently, if you play a player a lot, right, your MMR is going to be higher for that specific character, meaning that you're going to be going against the same amount of people. And unfortunately, if you're like me, you recognize everybody that you play against in Battlegrounds, which is annoying. Because usually, those players are really good. So pretty much every game that you get in, you're going against people that are very competent and are very difficult to play against. I can't cheat like most streamers do and set my VPN to like Brazil and then go into lobbies with easier people and bots like Warzone streamers do, which is unfortunate because that would be OP. But unfortunately, that's not an option. But so how MMR currently works is you just build this over time. Like you build up an MMR skill-based every time you basically play a game and do well. But it doesn't decrease unless you don't log in for a while or don't go into a Battlegrounds for a while. So if you just casually do your daily Battleground like I do, your MMR will always be very high, very sweaty, very like, oh my gosh, I really have to go out and put a lot of effort into this. And that can be frustrating for players like me who just want to, do my dailies. And then I'm like, I got to lock in. So now it'll reset monthly. It seems to be one of the biggest changes. And it will start to fall off quicker. But the nice thing too is that if you want to go into the 4v4s, your MMR will increase. But if you play the 8v8s, they talked about not increasing your MMR at all. So if you just want to do your daily, it's almost like a non-ranked Tales of Tributes match, right? If you just want to go in there and do a nice, calm 8v8 game, you can get your transmutes, you can get your daily rewards, you get your daily XP, and then you don't have to stress about all of the other, hoopla and stuff that goes on, which will be really nice. And then 4v4s, though, smartly, they've made it to where you can queue as a group or queue solo, and the rewards for that mode, because it's competitive, will be higher. There's no leagues or anything, but they've said that they're going to juice the rewards that you get from the leaderboards, but not just the leaderboards. Just by playing the 4v4 mode, you're going to get better rewards, and it's going to be one of the only new ways to get the new sets that are dropping, and I suspect the new sets are going to be very good. So it's going to be overall very, very good, in my opinion, from the Battlegrounds perspective. You fell asleep, lady. Come on now. Somebody had asked me, what do I think? It's a hard question to answer. Let me ask you this. Everybody, scale of 1 to 10, Twitch, YouTube chat. 1 if it's the worst update that they've ever added. 10 if it's the best update they've ever added. I want to hear what you guys think first. Because there's a lot of, there's curation changes, there's companion changes, there's battleground changes, rewards changes, a new Telvar merchant. They've changed how Telvar keys drop. I'm very curious to see where you guys are on the spectrum for this. And then I want to kind of give my final answer, just so I feel like I can get a feel for how everybody's feeling, first. Because I want to know where everybody's at before I give a definitive answer. 5. All right, so in order we have 1, 7, 8, 5, 5, 8, 5, 5, 3, 4, 1, 6, 8, 6. Man, you guys are all over the place. You just don't make this easy to have my own opinion. 5. Worst update since 35. Woo. It is difficult, too, because I really wish that they did something with Cyrodiil, right? 7. I think that's what's hard, too, because they made a lot of good changes. This is where I am, right? This is where I am. I love the changes to Battlegrounds. I love the changes to Telvar. I love the new companions. I think that adding them in is just flavorful. I love that you don't have to own a chapter. So if a new player comes into the game and says, Jake, I could get a companion now. I said, that's perfect. I'll get that companion. But I love that leaderboards now mean something. I love that there's an easier way to do your daily battleground, to get transmute crystals. I like that they added 7 new maps. It shows that they put a lot of effort into these things, that they're adding new changes to Chaos Ball. So they've added a lot of things that I like, but I feel like that there could have been, they could have touched upon Cyrodiil, Is that too crazy to say? Is that too much of a hot take, I don't know. I don't know if it's a scared of Cyrodiil thing. I think it's just they don't know what to do, to everybody saying that they wanted a Cyrodiil update, just out of curiosity, what would you do with Cyrodiil? Yeah, they did quite a bit with the Imperial City. To me, the only the changes that I would make to Cyrodiil are just to things like cross healing. I would just I wouldn't make ball groups maybe a little weaker. It would be more towards nerfing sets and specific scrying abilities. I don't know, or scribing, excuse me, not scrying. My brain is so confused. Have they ever said anything about the percentage of players that play in Cyrodiil? I don't think that they had. Wish there was a separate map where you could go without PvPers so you could finish the story in peace and rotate starting areas like they had in the beta 10 plus years ago. I think the mercenary idea that they had in the beta too could be kind of cool, having mercenary guards follow you around or something like that, or being able to pay alliance points to send people to go and attack different places maybe. To me, it's hard because I like Cyrodiil a lot, but I don't know. If you had asked me how I would change Battlegrounds, it would be very similar to what they did. If you asked me how to change Cyrodiil, I don't know. Besides nerfing things, and to be completely honest, they may still nerf what we think that they're going to nerf. They still may nerf cross healing because they said that there's going to be balance changes in this. But I don't know what those are going to be. I think they should add a new artifact weapon. I do agree with that. Add more ranks and put some rewards in mounts and pets. I agree with that 1000%. People have been loudly asking for cryo improvements for so long. It's weird they haven't addressed it. Makes me wonder if there's something going on technically. So to be fair, they have updated the server. So if you may remember, the ESO servers used to be the hardware was from 2013. They did up those to 2020 hardware. And there was a noticeable improvement in the game when they did do that. Players paying other players for tasks with AP is a fun idea. add mercenary companies. That's what I would think is basically a running simulator with getting ganked. That's what I think too. I think a lot of people come to ESO because they're drawn to how Cyrodiil looks. I don't think that's a crazy assumption. And to me, it's kind of like how do you change Cyrodiil? I think that adding more rewards is great. And we know that they're tweaking the achievements for Battlegrounds because obviously certain ones won't be able to be done anymore. So I don't know if this is going to be like an increase in any Battlegrounds or achievements. I know that they're adding new outfit styles. They weren't upgrading Cyrodiil, was that they needed that update, so why haven't they since we got the update? So, Rain, when they did the update, it was supposed to occur in 2022, but then they couldn't do it because of COVID. They didn't get the parts until I think, or no, they were supposed to do it back in 2020. They couldn't even start it until 2022, and then from there they couldn't do it on all the mega servers. So they only finished the hardware updates I think last year. So I don't know. I don't know if they would ever change the size of Cyrodiil. I think that what you're on about is a good idea, but I don't know if they're interested in that. Hot take, what I feel like they should do is make your mounts faster inside of Cyrodiil. Maybe that would be a good, like every mount is 20% faster inside of Cyrodiil. I think could be a good option as well. What do you guys think about something like that? I'm just trying to think creatively, like what could you change? I think a new Valen drone would be cool. More siege weapons would be cool. Stuff like that would be awesome. Battle Spirit could literally just give you like a bonus to mount speed, But I think these are the types of solutions that I think that they need to hear, and I think I might do like a video on like what suggestions I would do for Cyrodiil, just because like I love Cyrodiil, but like part of me hopes that Battlegrounds becomes more popular because I physically I enjoy the 8v8s, the 4v4s more than the running to a keep, finding out that it's already fine, or getting there too late, That's the part that kind of drives me insane. That's what I don't know. Like what would you guys change with Cyrodiil if you could change anything? And hot take, if there's anything that you guys think that should be changed to Battlegrounds. Because they've said that they're going to tweak MMR, that they're going to tweak certain things, that even like how many lives you have for deathmatch, that they're going to look at. What do you guys think about all that stuff? Like, what stuff would you change? What stuff would you do differently? Limit the number of players. I think, I don't know if they would ever want to do anything like that, just because I think that's such a risky change, I think really the biggest change that they need to do is they need to limit the I think that they just need to give you a movement speed increase. Is that crazy to say? Like, is that crazy? But I don't know, like, is that enough? Like, if they came out and said, hey guys, we're updating Cyrodiil and we're giving you a 5% movement speed increase, would you guys be like, oh, incredible? Like, or would you be like, well, what else? That's my thing is like, I don't know what else you do. I mean, I would love more rewards, but they're already going to add new achievements. Player summon dragons, giant group bosses. Honestly, I think you're cooking with that idea. You're cooking with that, Alakazam. I think that's actually a fantastic idea. Like, imagine being able to summon dragons, or being able to like a little more PvE elements in there. Like, you could summon a dragon to attack a keep while you're attacking it. I just don't know how the PvP player base would interact with something like that. Bigger movement speed increases, but after sprinting at full speed for some time. I think it would just have to be mount speed. I think if they buffed just mount speed, that would be fine. Like, I don't think that they should make the players super fast because that could become kind of broken. They were up, Butterfly. They were. I don't know if they're still on or not. If they're putting AP down as a hit reward for killing a target player, I'd start using that immediately. Are you talking about like if they gave you more rewards, like what for using an AP set? Maybe increase the AP and world bosses in Cyrodiil. Why not buff the Dolmens in Cryo if they ever wanted to give it a PvE update? Dolmens could be easier to find. Yeah, I don't know why they make the Dolmens like ridiculously hard to find. Jake Gang, how's it going, Dozer? It's good to see you guys all here today. We have a crazy amount of viewers. Ever since the live stream ended, everybody's like, well, let's go see what Jake has to say. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look how many people there are. We have 177 people watching on Twitch, which is crazy. That's wild. Feel obligated to just keep going. Like, well, we can't end it now, you know? We gotta keep up the good work, you know? Am I right? Yeah, bounties on specific players would be kind of cool. I think maybe too, like you could put like a target where the Emperor is, you know? Maybe being able to like see where the Emperor is. Maybe too, like more roles. Like maybe there's not just the Emperor. Maybe there's like a role like the Emperor's Guardian or like you know, like what are some other roles that you could get? I don't know. Like I don't know, like maybe like generals, like you having more people that were like, you know, the Emperor gets a bunch of buffs, maybe giving buffs to like other like players in the top 5, you know? Yeah, I think the drops are bugged, Mama Mask, unfortunately. Yeah, we will also get, and it's good to see you too, Coffin. Jarls, yeah, like somebody, maybe like a keep specific one. Maybe like the guild that takes a keep, like the guild leader becomes like the Jarl of that keep, and they get buffs when they're defending that keep, and maybe they can spread out that buffs like the Emperor. Yeah, we've gotten through everything so far, Paul. We're just kind of re-going through everything. Emperor should always be shown on the map. I think that would be a really nice, easy change. That wouldn't be like super crazy. 24-hour stream. Can you imagine? We do have 153 active people watching, you know, that would be crazy. So the PvP updates are basically, I mean, there's a lot. 4v4 mode, 8v8. 4v4 is competitive and will only count towards, the competitive one will only count towards leaderboards. There's one leaderboard versus like the 3 that there is now. The leaderboard system will give you bonus rewards, like the higher you are up on there. Playing competitive 4v4 will give you bonuses to getting the new sets, as well as the live sets, the new sets, as well as the outfit styles. You guys are talking very quickly. Yeah, the revenge system will be very cool. They're also changing the Telvar merchants. The Telvar drops are now curated, so rip selling powerful assault. That's gone. Now it's going to be curated now. They're also adding a new weekly vendor that's like a Telvar vendor, which I really like that as well. They're also adding a new grimoire, which I suspect where you basically hold a banner, and that banner then gives buffs to like everybody around you, which I suspect would be very cool. Is watching it did Butterfly. I don't know if it still is because their drops bugged, so I don't know if it is still giving out or not. So instead of individual vault keys, I think you can now use a vault key, or you can pay Telvar to go into one of the little side vaults. The difference is though is that you can now basically pay to then buy those sets from there. Curated basically means you're guaranteed to get something you don't have. So if you don't have the powerful assault ice staff, you are guaranteed to get either that or another item you don't have in your sticker book, meaning that you can essentially keep rolling for it until you have it. It's not going to be like if I opened 100 coffers, I could essentially get 100 rings But now I can essentially get an item each time that I don't have. What's interesting though is that I don't know if I like this, because technically, couldn't I, as a seller of Telvar, now get every single piece of powerful assault at and then bind it to my sticker book, and then I would only be rolling for powerful assault ice staffs, and then I would just sell that to other players? Isn't that something you could do for gold now? Like, isn't that a thing that you could just do? It, like that to me, that seems a little broken. Like how people sell dungeon runs of specific dungeon sets. Like, I feel like that would be kind of busted. Am I wrong? Yeah, like people do that now for like Pillar of Nirn. People do that for all different types of sets. That's where I'm like, that might be crazy. That's where I don't know, like, where I sit on this update, you know? Like, I... It's so... I did ask this question too before. Where do you guys rate this 1 to 10? Like, where do you guys put this? That's why I don't know. I am so indecisive on if I love this update, if I feel like it's not enough, if I feel like I wanted more, but then it's like, what more did I want? Like, I got so many things that I wanted: a Battlegrounds refresh, a Telvar rotating merchant. Like, I wanted those things desperately, right? A leaderboard change. I wanted a new leaderboard. I wanted MMR to be fixed. Like, I'm so excited about those things, but I feel like not having anything Cyrodiil related is a letdown, unfortunately. I mean, just realistically, let's be honest. And the companions are, I mean, they're okay. I mean, like, the passives are, you know, decent. The curation to Telvar drops is also interesting. I don't know if I love or hate that yet. I think from an economic perspective, it might be either crazy or not crazy. Drops may still be enabled. They were broken burning red when ZeniMax had them out. Yeah, they're trying something different. I think to me, I've been frustrated with Battlegrounds, right? Because my MMR on my main characters are like ridiculously high. So it's been exceptionally frustrating for me to actually go and play Battlegrounds. Like, if I want to do my daily Battlegrounds, it's ridiculously crazy. But they also added 7 new maps. They fixed MMR. They added new rewards. They made it so if you play competitive, you get better rewards. Like, those are all things that I wanted, right? So, like, I feel like I got a lot of what I wanted, and maybe then I'm just like, you know, it's like I got all the stuff that I wanted, but I wanted more. You know, isn't that kind of weird? Like, they checked all of the boxes that I hope that they check. Butterfly, I don't know if drops are enabled. So ZeniMax had them at the end of their stream, but they said that they were broken and they were working to re-enable them. So I don't know if they have them enabled back or not, because I've already claimed mine, so I can't see if they are. But they did say too that there's going to be a stream later in the week also too. But I'm with you. I'm not a Twitcher. I'm not big on the twitching. Yeah, the 60 to 70 volt keys in the bank will be nice to like convert into one thing, you know? That's a really nice thing. There needs to be there's been a need for an independent PvP system. This way, no need to nerf overbuilds like what's going to happen to Pyrobrand. This update will rate as a 2. It's not a letdown renew. Wait, it's not a letdown? Some people would call that greed, but they'll never be able to give everyone what they want. It's difficult because I think that they came into this update knowing what they wanted to do. They wanted to give people a new PvP update, right? And that's what they gave everybody. But the problem is like it didn't satisfy everybody's need. Now, importantly, we don't know what sets or things are going to be nerfed to. There's going to be a patch notes too. So if they fix things like cross healing, if they fix other things that are kind of prevalent in Cyrodiil, that will fix some of the concerns the PvP community is having. So like, we don't know what exactly is going to be changed from like a set perspective, right? They did seem kind of nervous. I think that they knew that people were going to kind of like come in with like pitchforks, like, where's our Cyrodiil update? And everyone's like, oh, we don't really have a Cyrodiil update. And then they're like, I want that. Honestly, hot take, I think that they should add like a 32v32 game mode, like into Battlegrounds, you know? Vegina's face when everybody was getting timed out. And that was when they announced who the companions were. That was kind of, yeah, that was something. That was something. Yeah, that was, yeah. I would sell it. If you got it as non-bound, I would sell it. They did bring back proc sets to Ravenwatch, so that's true too. They did bring back that to Ravenwatch. I would also sell any non-bound scripts that you get. I would sell them all. I do have to make a work phone call, but if you guys bear with me, I will be right back. What I will do is I will play. Hang on. What we'll do is we'll play. Hang on. I'll play this so you guys can listen. But you just won't be able to listen.
You know, it's not as cozy and a little bit more crazy. Is PvP. That's what we're going to be talking about in
they're adding
great deal
sets,
today.
I'll mute a bit. They're adding proc sets back to Ravenwatch. But I will be right back. You guys should be able to work towards your Twitch drops and see all the stuff on here. But I got to make some work phone calls. But I want to keep the stream going because I'm hype. So I'll be right back personally. So just listen to them.
In the Update 44 base game, we'll be talking about the new companions that we just lightly touched on at the beginning of the year, where we'll go over some in-game events and some announcements, and then close up with a special message from the team that just released the Elder Scrolls Castles. Now, for Update 44, we do want to let everybody know this is coming to the PTS on Monday, September 16th. You know what else is happening on September 16th? It's my birthday. Yay! Happy birthday to me. Update 44 is on PTS. Woo!
Best birthday present ever.
It is. You know what? This happens all the time when it's like, oh, my birthday is the week of PTS. Sweet. I'm turning 24 again. No, just kidding.
$24.99 plus shipping and handling. The older you get, the more your shipping and handling costs.
You know what I also noticed is like when I have to put in my date of birth, I'm scrolling an awful lot to get to my year. But
I feel that.
yeah, it's all good. October 28th, Update 44 is going to launch for PC, Mac, Steam, and Epic. And then November 13th is consoles. Chat, thank you so much. You all are very sweet. Everyone's very excited today, as am I. It's going to be a really fun live stream. All right.
It is. Next on the list here, don't forget that Twitch drops are on right now. If for any reason you guys aren't seeing it, make sure you refresh. Sometimes Twitch can be a little tricky.
Yes.
But the Chaos Ball cohort pet, it is a brand new pet that we haven't seen before. So who doesn't want a Chaos Ball following them around everywhere they go? I think that's pretty awesome. This one ideally isn't going to do you any damage though. Also, as a reminder, the September Spotlight. You can get 2 free dungeons and more this month. So the Dragon Bones DLC dungeons, Fanglair and Scalecaller Peak are available for daily login rewards this month. And I believe there's also some an arms pack you can get, as well as some other goodies. So definitely check in on those. We also have for our Xbox friends, Xbox Game Pass perks. There's a new anniversary pack out. Don't forget to go claim that. We have the ESO Home Tours contest, which we're going to talk about, I think, in just a minute. That's going to be coming up. We have an Undaunted celebration starting on Thursday. All the dungeons you can run and more. We obviously have today's live stream, which is the update into PvP, which is going to be so exciting. And then later this month, we also have a couple 10-year anniversary meetups. which includes over in Italy, which I'm so jealous I can't be there for.
I know, same.
And then one in San Diego on the 21st at TwitchCon, which I will be there for. So come visit.
I was gonna ask,
think
actually. I wasn't sure if you were still coming or not.
Yes, thanks to some friends for letting us crash with them. We were able to get a couple dollars scraped together to get at least the plane tickets out. So we won't be at TwitchCon itself, but we will be in the area for the meetup. So come say hi. I'll have lots of free time.
I'm very excited for that one. Yeah, as Mrs. mentioned, the Home Tours contest, we previously had said that that was going to start on September 4th. Well, here we are on September 10th. So basically, we are just kind of working to ensure that as...
All right, I'm back. How's everybody doing? Sorry to make some work calls. Any questions that have sparked so far? Anybody have any questions or things that I can help answer? I don't know. So when they ended the stream, Jeremiah, they said that drops were broken and they were trying to fix them. Whew. Sorry, I ran up the stairs. I was like, I gotta come back. So I don't know if they've been put back on or not. I don't know if they've ended. I know that ZeniMax was trying to fix them. Unfortunately, because I already have the drop enabled, I can't actually see if the drop itself is still going, unfortunately. Which is frustrating, because I know that a lot of you guys are probably here just because you want the Chaos Ball drop, which I don't blame you. Like, there's probably a lot of you who are like, who the hell is this guy? And I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, my name's Jake. And you're like, I don't give a fuck about this Jake guy. Where's the Chaos Ball? But I have a cute cat who's here. You want to say hello, Evie? You want to say anything? She's not interested in speaking. Sometimes she likes to chirp. Jake, give us your Chaos Balls. Oh, gosh. You ready to switch to the Elden Dominion? Oh, God. It would take a lot for me to switch to the Dominion. I don't know what it would even take, but it would take more than most people could offer me. It was like one of my friends said that I should start a IMDC. Somebody said I should start like a fundraiser, not like a fundraiser, but like a donation goal to shave my head. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, Travis, it would take a ridiculous amount of money for me to shave my head. I appreciate my hair more than, more than most people probably do because it's my hair, Like, I'm not just going to give this away. And Travis was like, I'll give you $500 to shave your head. I'm like, I'm not going to shave my head for $500. Like, what? I was like, I like my hair just too much, Like, I watch your videos on the reg, even though you're a blue. I'm glad that even though we're different, we're from different cloths, that we can still come together, I was thinking about a sub goal. If I reached a certain sub goal on either Twitch or YouTube or maybe both, that I would do a race change, or not a race change, but an alliance change based on like a popular vote. I thought that'd be kind of cool. But I don't know. I don't know where that would be. But thank you guys for watching on the regular. It's also crazy that we still have 112 viewers on Twitch. I don't know how many we have on YouTube. Come on. My cat's walking on my keyboard. Whoop. Amen, Fennec. What? We got a lot of new people here. What is everybody's alliance? AD, EP, or DC? What's everyone at? What are all the people at here? What do we got? We got a bunch of. DC. Oh, they got the DC people in chat. There we go. I got some AD. Oh, well. Bald is beautiful. Of course, the best one, EP. If you're not EP, you are AP. That's actually a really good saying. I like that. I'm going to steal that. AD forever. I have a question about this update. Feel free to throw out any questions. AD. And if I miss a question, just ask again, because there are a lot of people in chat, and I don't mind if people spam questions. That's totally okay. DC, but I'm a baby, so I haven't PvP'd much. That's okay. It's still the right alliance. DC, AD/EP. I don't know, you could be too. EP, DC. I missed the part about the main quest. They didn't say a lot about it. I think that they're really just going to update. I think that they're going to do is make it more obvious what the main quest line is. Because they said that they took feedback from newer players, I think, that were probably confused as to what is a main quest versus what's a main storyline versus what's its own quest. I think there's a lot of confusion around that. So I think that's the big change that they're focused on when it comes to the main quest. My cat's trying to jump up on the keyboard. I just hope she doesn't accidentally end the stream. That would be awkward. 9 characters all different? I mean, I guess it makes sense to have an alliance for all of them, but you gotta have a favorite still, you know? Everybody needs to have a favorite alliance, you know what I mean? EP only since launch. That's how I've been with DC. My cat's... She was sitting on my lap, and then she jumped down, now she walked back over again. Just don't stand on the keyboard, cutie. Come here. Come here. You wanna say anything to your people? Look, see, you're on stream. Look. So I'll put you on my lap again. What do we hope about the Telvar vendor, by the way? Do we hope that it's like Filer Ul? Like, I don't know. I imagine they're gonna have different stuff. It's gonna be kind of crazy to see like how they're different. I might go check out PTS just to see how different the Telvar vendor is, because that could be kind of crazy. Because Telvar is also easier to get than Archival Fortune. So like, what's gonna be the exchange rate? Like, are they gonna do how many like legendary mats are they gonna do? I don't know. That could be pretty big. I just hope it's not a Tuesday vendor, because we already have 2 rotating Tuesday vendors. And it's like, I don't want to do another one. Like, here are 3 Tuesday vendors. DC is my favorite. There you go. The right answer. By the way, we lost our own Twitter poll. I did a Twitter poll on what alliance everybody is in, and DC came last, which hurt. Admittedly, it hurt. I was a little disappointed. That's okay. Last place in a poll, first place in our hearts. That's all that matters. Yeah, I think I would give this update, if I had to rate it, I would say, comparing this to Infinite Archive, because that's what this is basically, 44 versus 39, 40, something like that. DC Forever, PCEU, there you go. I think that I would give this a 7.5. I think that that's what I would do. My cat keeps trying to walk over where she's not supposed to. She just doesn't want to sit. She wants to be all excitable. She likes when I'm talking and on the phone. She gets very excited. She'll wake up from her sleep and start like wandering around and try to get me to play with her. I have her toys nearby if I need to use them. Don't switch and don't shave your head. Yeah, I mean, like, I like my hair a lot and I like my alliance a lot, so both of those things are like pretty essential for me to keep, you know? I don't know, is there something that you guys think that I should raise, like put a goal for? Like, I don't know, like, what I would do, you know? I thought about maybe upgrading, like, to a 4K capture card or something, but, like, I don't have, like, a specific goal that I would be raising for, you know? Maybe a charity. You know, I'm a social worker, obviously, in the real world, so maybe, like, I could do, like, a charity live stream. Like, I work with Angel Trees, which gives, like, gifts to, like, foster youth and stuff. Yes, your alliance chooses you. Exactly. How's it going, Irish? I think the Dark Elf is the most offensive race, but my main character is DC. To be fair, the entire Ebonheart pack, lore-wise, is a bit cattywampus. By the way, these changes right here to Chaos Ball, I don't know if I love it or think it's so goofy, but each Chaos Ball now turns you into something, which is kind of wild. So, like, this one turns you basically into a gigantic werewolf. How do you guys feel about How do you guys feel about this werewolf change, or like this change to Chaos Ball? I think on a Chaos Ball basis, this is a good change, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. It feels a little goofy. Fine as frog hair split 4 ways. That sounds like an expression that I don't know. Oh my gosh, she wants to play. Can you guys come over and play real quick with my cat? She does not want to sit still while I'm streaming anymore. Isn't that right? Yeah, so it sounds like they had thought about removing Chaos Ball altogether, but now they've added 3 balls for the 8v8 mode. It is the same for Moon Hunter, and then this one turns you into a Vampire Lord, which I do think is like thematically like super cool, but I don't know, like, is that I don't know if I like that or not. Like, do I want to play as a Vampire Lord? Because like Vampire Lords are not very strong, you know? Like, you can see their skill bar is not very good. Am I crazy? Like that's true, isn't it? I'm curious what their ult is. You can see that they have like an ult, but it's very hard to see like what it is. It almost looks like Dragon Knight standard, but maybe that's just a placeholder for the fact that he is on a Dragon Knight. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I like don't know, but I do like that they're experimenting with these modes. Like, there's no 4v4 capture the relic. There's only 8v8 capture the relic. I do like that they made changes like that. So the 4v4 mode, there's also no Chaos Ball. That's going to be the competitive mode, you know? Well, there's no CP enabled, so I don't know how... I mean, there will be ball groups, you know, but I don't know how that will work with queuing. I'm interested. The guy did say something about tweaking these form numbers. He did say that too. True. And there's the round system. You can also queue as a group versus queuing solo. Does the NPC by the docks in Ebonheart sound like Foghorn Leghorn? I don't know if I've ever talked to them before. Chaos Ball this, Chaos Ball that. Where are the goddamn drops? Got scammed by Zoss as always. I'm sorry. I don't know. I can't control the drops. I know that they said that there was a problem with the drops. I'm sorry. Please don't shoot the messenger. I'm just here, you know, keeping the vibes positive, you know. And I'm trying to think constructively how much I like this update, you know. Because there's a lot of things to unpack, you know what I mean? It's also kind of wild that they brought on a stream team member. You know, I thought that was interesting too. I don't think ZeniMax has released who's in their new content creator like special thingamabob yet, have they? Hopefully remake the cut. I mean, hopefully. I'm just looking right now at their Twitter right now to see if it says anything. They actually have posted a lot on Twitter. Oh my goodness. I don't know how many people would be interested in that, though, is the only thing. Like, dueling is fun and all, but I don't know, you know? Oh my gosh. They have so many Twitter posts that are out right now that basically just goes over everything, and I'm just trying to keep up as to, like, what's like what's there. Yeah, I think the $5 pack was good. Yeah, the drops bug, they said that they would try to fix it at the end of the stream, but they said that they will also have more streams next week as well if people aren't able to get it. But I don't know, like, I don't even know how many people would be interested in dueling. By the way, this is the coolest part of the update. Rounds and total deaths for respawn, I think, is what makes this the coolest update. Like, I wanted this so bad for deathmatch. Because a lot of times Battlegrounds just kind of feel like it doesn't feel like other MMOs that feel more formal. And so for me, this is a great change. Yeah, they put you guys on pain in the axe, I think. But ESO, whenever the drops are enabled, they're enabled on anybody that's streaming ESO, which is helpful because, like, I'm not on the stream team, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. Oh, my cat's coming back again. So I don't know. Like, there's so many pieces and components to this update to kind of digest and break down. Ironically, there was more leaks that were, like, coming out, and none of those leaks were true. It was leaked that, like, you won't be able to play on the original Xboxes and PlayStations anymore, and that wasn't, like, mentioned at all. So I'm like, that would be pretty big if they, like, said that but didn't mention it. So I don't know. There was a lot of leaks that didn't come true, that weren't data mined, that apparently a journalist had said. What was the other one? I think that they had said too, like, they said a furniture bag. So a journalist had said that there was going to be like a furniture bag and then no more support on the original consoles, and none of that was even a part of this, like, thing. I don't know, maybe that's just something that they're talking about, but I don't know. That was kind of weird. I was expecting something crazy like that to be mentioned at the end, like, oh, by the way, guys, no more original Xboxes or PlayStations. Bye. Great stream. See everybody later. Woo. Everybody will be like, whoa, 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 roll that back one time. Cat, what are you doing? Or my cat's like, she wants to play so badly. She doesn't understand. I'm trying to do some streaming, trying to be productive. Yeah. Yeah, do you know what? I didn't even watch Nefis's video on that. Do you know what it said? Like, what's the heads and tails? I saw the thumbnail and I saw the information, but I didn't see, like, what was said. But maybe it's worth not even covering because it sounds like none of it's true. By the way, that was one of the new PvP sets. I really want a furniture bag. They've been looking at... I think that they will at some point. I just don't know. A lot of it's probably problems with coding, if I had to guess. Like, they had talked about making treasure maps stackable for the longest time. The issue is not that they don't want to do stuff like that. The issue is that they are struggling to that. They don't have the new... They don't have them viewable yet. I think I could scroll back and see if I can see the one. So here's the... Oh, Twitch. Never change. Oh, Twitch. Love your videos. Keep it up. Well, thank you. No, you're good. If we were not, like, watching it actively, I'm just like, bro. Come on now. I was somewhere around here. You don't ever have to apologize. We're a nice, calm community. I'm just like, where were you guys? Where were you hooligans at when you were talking about this? Here's one. While you have pause this now. While you have crowd control immunity, you are immune to snares and immobilizations. Okay, so that's one of them. I don't think you get to see another one, though. Unless you get to see another set? Another one of the new one? Maybe it's just that one. I feel like he shows another set at some point, though, too. Watch you all the time, Jake. Great videos. Well, thank you, Silverwood. And yeah, it'll all be out on PTS on Monday. I'll probably have to jump on PTS just to look at it. I want to see what this Tuesday, or this, not Tuesday, we don't know if it's Tuesday vendor. I want to see what this Telvar vendor is all about. And I just hope that he's like a Thursday vendor, right? Like, I would be ecstatic if it's not that. What do you think about the flag buffs? The flag buffs are the only reason that I actually think that this update is, like, really positive. Because I think the flag buffs will be good for trials, dungeons, and PvP. And that's what makes me excited. And also, just conceptually, whipping out a banner and rallying people around you just excites me. Like, if there was no new Telvar vendor and there was no new like Grimoire, I probably would be at like a 4 or a 3 for this update. But those two things alone have made me very excited. Well, so the Rain, they said that there's going to be a rotational. The jewelry vendor is going to turn into a rotational vendor. They said that that's going to be one of the main changes that they're doing. Come on, Evie. Come on. You're being a goober. You're being a goober. She keeps trying to touch my keyboard. Wait, so here's another one. When your attack is dodged, you increase your weapon and spell damage by 95 for 7 seconds. This can stack up to 5 times. So this is another one of the new ones. So it does weapon and spell. Max Magicka adds 129 weapon and spell damage. When your attack is dodged, increase your weapon and spell damage by 95 for 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. It's going to occur once every half second. At max, that is 95 times 5. That's 475 weapon and spell damage. I mean, that's pretty decent. Can you explain to me who thought of designing that hipster emo looking straight out of Alanor Central rat mount? I don't know. I watched 90% of the broadcast get timed out. I was I was like, that was interesting. Did you ever play when the lockout for Cyrodiil was 800 per faction? They kept dropping. By summer said it was 450. As of now, my guess would be 120. Would have been good if the update upped it to 300. I don't know. I mean, I think that Cyrodiil needs something. I think the biggest thing that Cyrodiil needs is probably an increase to movement speed with Battle Spirit, mount speed specifically. I think that if they just increased mount speed inside of Cyrodiil, that would be huge for the new player experience in Cyrodiil. Because ESO tracks all of this stuff. They track how many people go to Cyrodiil each day, how many people do Battlegrounds each day, how many people, how much time is spent collectively in those two things, how many alliance points are owned by people. Because if you remember when I was making my video about things that I hope would change or get updated, one of the concerns that I had is that if they made an AP vendor, like an Archival Fortunes vendor, that the market can become very easily flooded because there are people with billions of alliance points. Like, I know somebody who has billions of alliance points on console. So that's probably something that they take into consideration, but people don't have billions of Telvar because it's a harder currency to stack and use and whatnot. Making the sets there curated, I think, is interesting. I don't know if I like that or not. I don't know. I really don't know if I like that or not. If I wanted the sets to be curated or not from Imperial City. Like, I could see it being frustrated because a lot of Imperial City sets are not sold very often. It is you are correct too. Like, people complain about the speed and performance of Cyrodiil, but do people complain about the Imperial City not having drops? I don't know. I'd be farming Telvar off people. Yeah, I mean, like, you can get tons of Telvar. Like, I have like 200,000 to 300,000 Telvar just chilling, and I have the polymorphs and stuff already purchased. How's it going, goats? So, like, for me, I don't know. There's so much. There's a lot to unpack here. There's a whole lot to unpack. That's, I think, the harder part about these updates is there's so many things to digest. We have 2 new companions with 2 new passives. So you have those over there. You have a leaderboard change to Battlegrounds, so set that over there. You've got a 4v4 mode. You got an 8v8. You've got new how they've changed Chaos Ball. They've changed the leaderboards. You've got 6 new sets, new outfit styles, new achievements. Set all those to the side. We have a new rotational Telvar vendor, so set that to the side. Like, you've got curated drops for the Imperial City. You no longer have keys. You now have universal keys to go inside the Telvar arenas, which is very unique. You've got this cool new flag grimoire, which is awesome. You set that to the side. Like, you just keep going. Oh, they also added new styles for, like, how, like, puncture now is like lava-esque. They added a new one too for Force Pulse, you know. There's just so much to unpack, you know? Like when they added the Infinite Archive, it was like, this is the Infinite Archive. This is the Infinite, you know, like it was pretty straightforward, you know, like everything was kind of like, okay, this is the new game mode. Here it's like we're changing this, adding this, changing this, making more of these and whatnot, and you're like, oh, okay, that's a lot of stuff. The biggest thing that I'm happiest about, besides the rotational vendor and besides the flag, is the fact that if you work on the leaderboards, you get the 6 new sets that are supposed to be rare and valuable and good. I like that a lot. I think that if you work to get on a battle, and there's only one Battlegrounds leaderboard, and you can only be on that leaderboard on a character that is higher than level 50, so you can't like cheese 10 to 49 Battlegrounds to get on leaderboards anymore. So I love that. I love that change. There's just so much to unpack. What is your guy? What stands out to you guys as the best change? To me, I think what's going to be the best change down the road is going to be this new flag thing, and I'll see if I can find it here. See if I can find when they talk about it. What just let me know. What do you guys think is going to be? Well, that's way too far. What do you guys think is going to be the most notable thing in the long run, like community-wise? Like, what's going to be the sauce that everybody's like, damn, that was impactful? All right, so we're still with the PvP guy. Okay, what are we doing? Are we doing the rally stuff here? What are we doing on this dummy? I think this might be when this happened. Or did we just miss it? Yeah, so I think that they might have just done it. Hang on, we're going to go back. I do play on console. Alright, they haven't talked about it yet. Alright, hang on. Moving us up. Apparently closing us out. Golly. I do play on console. I've been invited to play on PC multiple times, but I can't leave the boys behind, you know? Yeah, I think that there's no more 4v4v4s except for special weekends. That's going to be completely gone now. All right, so here we got the flag banner stuff. My cat's jumped back up again. So 4v4v4s will only be during special weekends. 8v8, I think the nice thing about 8v8 too that I like is you can get your daily transmutes from your 8v8 or your 8v8, and then you don't have to stress about you don't then have to stress about getting your Telvar and your daily your daily battleground done. That was what I was working towards. So my brain's a little scattered. So that's what I really like, and I think 8v8 is going to be more balanced because you can't queue into it with 8 people, and it's non-competitive, so you get lesser rewards like from the new sets. This is the banner thing, by the way. This I think is going to be cracked for both PvP and PvE. And thank you, Joy. This stream is awesome. Lots of info and great discussions. The devs should be watching stuff like this. Well, thank you. I know the devs do watch some of my videos, which is kind of scary. What do they say? They also recently announced that content creator program, so we'll have to see if we make the cut. My cat is going crazy. She wants to play. It's not playtime yet. She's like, work's over. Can't replay. I think 8v8 is going to be great for PvE players who just want to get their dailies done, and then 4v4 is going to be great for people who love PvP, who love the competitive gameplay and want to get better rewards from PvP, but then, want something that's fast, In a 4v4 game mode where you're restricted to 5 lives, or potentially 3, because they're going to tweak stuff like that, I think that's going to be pretty big. It'll be very competitive. And champion points aren't enabled. They said that they're going to consider stuff like adding champion points, but I personally like when champion points aren't enabled. I think for two reasons. One is it gives people who aren't high champion point leveled more incentive to come and enjoy things like Battlegrounds without having to stress about going to places like Greyhost. And the second reason is everybody's just less tanky. So like realistically, everybody's weaker in CP and no CP, excuse me. So from that perspective, it's just faster. Hopefully I can find you someday. Yeah, if you I'm usually in Mournhold or item flipping or in Greyhost. I don't ironically I don't do a lot of Battlegrounds right now because I go against the same people all the time. And it can be really annoying to fight. That's why one of the greatest changes they're making is fixing this MMR system, which drives me insane. The MMR of constantly going against the same people all the time makes me clinically insane. But no, if you feel free to add me on Xbox or shoot me a message if you're in the game or whatnot. If you see me, say something too. You guys are very kind to me in chat too. Like one of you guys killed me in Greyhost, and they like stood over my body and they sent me a whisper that said, "I love your videos." And I was like, of all the messages that I thought I was gonna receive, inside of Greyhost, that was not one of them. Yeah, I mean like it's not like I want to like slaughter new players, but like if I want to do a daily battleground, if I'm gonna sweat, like I'm less likely to do it, Like I'm less likely to farm transmutes and farm battlegrounds because I know that going in, it's gonna be like a big, aggressive fight, I enjoy Battlegrounds a lot. Maybe I'm different, but like to me, Greyhost is just so spread out. I hope that they continue to update Battlegrounds. Like I think that if they made something crazy, like imagine if Battlegrounds had like a 16v16 or 32v32. I found you in your house. I waved at you, emoted, and then ran away. Hope I didn't bother you. No, I think I remember seeing you. Yeah, I have my house listed too, so feel free if you guys ever want to come and see how my house looks. Like feel free. There's no drama. You can come on anytime. But I feel like they don't want to do like 16v16, 32v32 because that does take away from Cyrodiil. But also, like the biggest complaint about Cyrodiil is it just takes so long to get to these major conflicts. I think to me that's the biggest thing that they have to overcome. Like I was streaming Greyhost yesterday, and I felt like I was like I hustled all the way to Chalman, retook Chalman right as I got there. I hustled up to Winter's Peak, retake Winter's Peak right as we get there. And then I noticed we're getting attacked at Ash, so I teleport to Ailes, run to Ash, and like by the time I get there, we've already lost, and I'm just like, oh my god, I just want to fight people on stream, like, and I don't want to be the only one here either, like one man versus the entire Aldery Dominion. I mean, that would make for a cool video. Jake Clips versus the Thalmor, 1v1, it would be kind of crazy, but it's also not going to last very long. You recommend your house. Well, thank you. It's kind of generic. Like I noticed that there's so many cool themed houses out there that I really wanted to be themed, but like I didn't know what to do. Like so my house is just kind of like my personality, I guess. Like I wanted to make it like cool, like by incorporating all of the items that I had gotten in the game, like the Emperor's Throne, the Valen Drone, the stuff from completing Veteran Dragonstar, or not Dragonstar, what's the trial that has the dragons in it? That one. I can't even think of it. Veteran Dragon Slayer Thingamahoosin, the trial, that thing, incorporating in the Elder Scrolls. It was just, that's what I like about housing. That's why I think housing is the true end game, because like you can physically all of the rarest stuff you have to actually get like a very hard achievement to get. 8v8 Battlegrounds, you heard it. And they're adding in thingamabobs too. Sunspire, thank you, JP. I was lost. I was like, the dragons, there's some dragons and you kill them and then everybody stands still and the tank's on one side, I do think that the banner is going to make ball groups more annoying, but I think that it will also make non-ball groups better as well. I also think that it's going to be great for trials. Like, think about the potential this will have to make certain trial content easier, Being able to give a buff to everybody in a circle is going to be pretty crazy. And all it's doing is reducing your resource sustain. Like, you can easily build in some like crazy stuff, I think, for this. Come on, Evie. Don't go play over there. I set up a second monitor and she likes to go sit on the second monitor on the stand that it's on. And I'm like, please don't do that. That's where the keyboard is. There's just a lot to unpack. What do you guys think is the best part of this update? For me, it's probably the banners. The flag bear, and maybe it's just because I played Warhammer, recently, where they have that scene where they raised the second company's Ultramar banner, and I'm just like, ooh, this is good, I honestly think that's the best change. Second best is probably a rotational Telvar vendor, because let's be realistic, nobody's farming Telvar really as much as they are. Like, compare Archival Fortunes farming to Telvar farming. People are literally probably farming more Archival Fortunes than Telvar, which is kind of crazy to think about. And then third would be 8v8. I love the idea of 8v8. I love the concept of 8v8. I'm just excited to see it implemented and see kind of how it goes. Also, the next video that I will be doing, besides the Tuesday vendor video, which will be today, will be some defensive. So I want to start making videos that kind of get people's brain juices a flowing. And one of those things is I want to start doing videos like top 10 defensive PvP sets, top 10 offensive PvP sets. Because I think a lot of times people will just say things like, oh, we'll use 2 damage sets and then a defense set. And I think that for me, what I am excited about is so I'm going back to the ball group things. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is if they're all standing together on the flag, then you know where they're going to kind of go, make them more bombable. Because really, that's the number one way to counter ball groups. Shoot, what was I saying? Because people will say, oh, just use 2 defensive sets and then use an offensive, or use 2 offensive sets and use a defensive set. People are like, well, what defensive set should I run? And I'm somebody who wants to try to give people ideas, because I think that there's a lot of, like, for example, Armor Master is a really cool defensive set, right? Because you can back bar it, meaning you only have to have 3 pieces of it on your front bar. So you could still build in a full monster set, a mythic, and 2 5 pieces. And from there, you can flip them. And so to me, Armor Master is a cool set, but it doesn't work for everybody. So it's cool to be able to, Pariah, obviously, Chuden, those are your generic ones that people love. But I think getting people Fortified Brass, like, people just forget that sets like that exist. And being able to remind people about sets and things, I just like that idea of, because conceptually, there are a lot of cool PvP sets that people want to build in, but they don't know how to. And being able to give them suggestions and kind of talk about, like, well, this is why some people use this set. Like, this is why people use Pariah versus Fortified Brass. Like, this is why some people use Armor Master. This is why some people use Mighty Chuden. This is the drawbacks of using Mighty Chuden, Being able to explain all of that stuff in a video, I think, will be very helpful. Same with, like, sustain sets, too. Like, being able to say, like, these are the top 10 sustain sets for PvP. Because ideally, I want people to be able to build in their own PvP sets. Because I think this is probably my hottest take in ESO, is that you cannot easily copy a PvPer's build and succeed with it in the same way that you can for like PvE. And to me, it's just simply that as PvP, we are all very different. Some of us like to be more hang back more. Some of us like to be in the action more. Some of us, are better at roll dodging. Some of us are better at blocking. Some of us like to streak so that we don't have to dodge or roll dodge or block, Everybody is so different. To try to say universally that this is the best PvP setup, I think is just always very hard. And that's where I want to try to teach people how to make their own PvP builds. And that's where I think top 10s are the best form to do that. Like if you need a set that does this, and you feel like this is a good way to build it for yourself, then you can use this if you feel like this is good. For example, my friend David, you may have heard of him. He's my example of the average ESO hooligan. He is terrible at drinking potions. Well, there's a set called Clever Alchemist that if you drink a potion, you gain a bunch of weapon and spell damage. That is a really good PvP set. If he used it, he would be terrible with it because this dum-dum, every time he drinks a potion, he thinks to himself, oh, that was like 10 gold worth of a potion right there. Like, that's just how he thinks. And so his mindset is like, I need to conserve potions. So him using that as a proc set would not be very good, And I think just teaching people like what could be good procs for them could be very helpful. And to me, that's what I want to try to teach people to do is, this could be your proc set. This could be how you kill people. Because realistically, there's 3 ways to kill people, right? You can either kill them with burst, by surprise, or by just running them out of resources. Those are the 3 ways that you kill people. If you surprise them if you come out of stealth, you kill them before they do anything, or they get bombed because they're too close to people, you kill them because they weren't paying attention or they were too close to other people, whatever. That's one way to kill people. The second way is you just make them run out of resources. You're just in a big old boxing match, right? And they run out of magicka or stamina. They can't block. They can't roll dodge. They're too far away to dodge any attacks. With trees, they get killed, right? Boom, they're dead. The third way is the most popular, in my opinion, and that's with burst, essentially. Also, this frame rate drop is them, not me. Their frames were terrible when they were going through this house. So don't judge me. I also have cat hair in my nose because my cat bumping my head. Is burst. And you can burst in 2 separate ways. Or you can burst with your skills, or you can burst with your sets. And whether or not you do one of those 2 things, I think that that's an important distinction. Like, for example, I think that the sorcerers building resources in using their burst as their skills is very helpful. Off topic, but thank you for the resin Cyrodiil yesterday. After you picked me up, I got a 14-player bomb. Well, that's awesome. Where do you remember when that was? I'm trying to think. Is your name also Revokes? Because I think I remember seeing like a Revokes V or Revokes something in chat yesterday. Yeah, I think I remember that. I've been enjoying Grey Host a lot recently. I think sometimes, I remember Revokes V. Hopefully that's earned a follow on Twitch. We're at 1.3k followers on Twitch. If everybody wouldn't mind hitting the follow button, I will love you forever, indefinitely. I don't know what my goal is on Twitch, but, it's always good to keep on keeping on with these social media platforms, especially because you can't do YouTube. I wish YouTube had Twitch drops. But when it comes to burst, you can burst through your skills. Like you think Daedric Curse. You think Crystal Frag, doing instantly going out. You think that the delayed execute of Mage's Fury. Those are all things that are great for the sorcerer and bursting. But you can also burst through sets, You can do, like, for example, Clever Alchemist. You drink a potion, you do more damage. Rallying Cry, one of the more popular ones. There's a lot of sets that deal burst or encourage you to deal burst. The Seducer's Mythic, that's randomly giving you buffs, is also great for that as well. You don't have to make another account. I appreciate it, though. I follow myself. I have my own Twitch account and I have my Jake Clips one. Ironically, you can't subscribe to yourself on your own account, which is, cringe. Like, I feel like I should be able to follow myself. I can subscribe to myself on YouTube. This is going to be a big self-report here, but I also watch all of my own videos on YouTube. I want to make sure that the watch time, is, going all the way through. I want to make sure that I like the video, that my notifications are still on. As YouTube tracks all that stuff, for better or for worse, I guess. Oh yeah, the super annoying glass shattering proc is definitely one of the more notable ones that people are annoyed about. I think too, I know I rated this. This is a 7.5. I think that we don't know what's going to change with the sets. I think once we know what changes are coming to the sets, like and how if they're tweaking cross healing and stuff, I think that would make this a much better update too. But the thing is we don't have the patch notes yet. So we don't know all of the improvements and things that they're doing specifically. We just know the general overview. I play with no sound and I watch Twitch. I sometimes I watch my own videos with no volume on. I'll just like click it through. Which, fun fact, is sometimes how I end up with bad background noise because my capture card is always going. So like right now I have it muted, but like sometimes I'll like have my TV off, but I'll have my Xbox on, and it'll like play my Xbox notifications in the background. Or one time I had Arc loaded, and it was playing dinosaur noises. So I was recording, and I saw that my mic was working and everything, and then secretly there was a bunch of dinosaur noises in the background. What do I think about the new companions? I don't know if the second one does enough. Like, I mean, heavy sacks are cool, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. But then again, I think that there's already almost a companion for everything as is to begin with. So I don't know necessarily how I feel about it already. The first companion, the elf one, being able to have longer time to pick locks, I think is helpful for newer players, especially if they're finding master chests and they don't have high ledgermend. I think it's helpful, not losing a lockpick as often, and then increasing your pop lock chance. I think, yeah, that's probably worth it. Being able to pop lock a master chest at probably like 90% accuracy is probably good, That's probably something that people are, it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, that's helpful. You know what I mean? It's also cool. I think he's a necromancer, right? Which is weird because doesn't he like worship Azura? Thanks, Jake. Off to dinner. Thank you for stopping in, Silverwood. Yeah, I don't know how much longer we're going to be going. I just have so many people watching me on Twitch right now that I'm like, well, gotta soak up this watch time real quick, Like gotta soak it all in, Gotta show Twitch that I can pull viewers, Yeah, so I don't know. What's my least favorite part of the update? That's what I want to think about. What's the least favorite part? I don't know if I like curated drops. I'll be honest. I don't think that it seems like they're trying to make Telvar more like Archival Fortunes. And I don't know if I like that because being able to sell like Powerful Assault for money has always been such a good moneymaker that I'm just kind of worried that like Telvar is going to be very different now, I don't know if I like that change. Like, now you can abuse it, though. You can literally bind your whole sticker book besides Powerful Assault Ice Staffs and just sell them. And even if you're selling them for like 20,000 or 50,000, like, that's still a good deal, If you can basically spend a few thousand Telvar and make 50 to 100,000 gold, even if it's not $500,000 like it used to, that still seems pretty cracked. It's like selling a dungeon run drop, except you're not a dungeon run drop, It kind of seems weird like that. What do you guys think about the changes to Telvar drops? Soak it up, Jake. Thank you, thank you. I'm just gonna like set this to be right back and then just go eat dinner and pray that everybody's still here. What do you think about the curated drops though? Like what do you guys think? Not a fan of. I think that you could abuse it. That's why part of me is like, well, maybe it adds like a new gold method to people who don't want certain sets but want to sell certain pieces. Like I could see myself, cheesing the sticker book now to make a bunch of gold. And maybe from that perspective, it's kind of neat. I just hope that they don't do that to like the other Cyrodiil sets. Like, don't do that to Deadly Strike. I'll cry. It's like my best gold method. Like, please don't touch Deadly Strike. Don't ever change it, please. Yeah, on the bots. I think though that if the leaderboards are as cracked as they say that they're going to be, and there's all these new sets. So like they said, if you do 4v4s, you're more likely to get the new outfits, the new sets, the new 6 sets, like you're going to get those at a higher rate by doing competitive. I think that you'll be able to sell sets to completionists, and you'll also be able to get rare rewards like outfits. I hope the outfits are tradable as well. They didn't say, but I hope that they are. Excuse me. I also like that they changed how the keys work for the Imperial City. Because let's be honest, the Imperial City keys were like worthless. And they're adding more Imperial City sets too. So there's a good chance that like some of those are pretty cracked. I'm not a super big on ESO fashion, but a lot of recent drops I have not been a fan of. Yeah, I think it's hard for fashion too, because like every new event, there's a new outfit style. There's always new motifs coming out. Like it's hard to even keep up as to like what are all the things. Thankfully, from an ESO fashion perspective, if you just want to be somebody that sells fashionable stuff, like if you want to sell mundane runes, heartwoods, because you don't want to decorate a house, boom, you can make tons of money. If you want to sell outfit styles, boom, you can sell a bunch of styles and stuff. Yeah, that's kind of how I do with extra styles. I just sell them onwards. I hear those 2 new companions again. Look how fancy all their backgrounds look. And then there's mine, which is just like so barren. I have the cool pet though, like I got this bad boy. I'm surprised none of them have this guy from Amsterdam. Also, their thing is so framey and blurry. Look at this bad boy. This was the reason I went to Amsterdam right here, was to get this bad image. He's got the Cadwell's helmet. I would pay, so if I could get a Cadwell's helmet, I would pay all of the money, Cadwell is 10 out of 10 my favorite character in ESO. And it's not even close. You guys have a favorite in Darien? Darien is also a fantastic character inside of ESO as well. Do you guys have a favorite character? Like, do you guys have like somebody you're like, oh yeah, that's my dude, that's my guy, or my lady? I mean, Isabel, obviously, granted, up there as well. That's a great point. I should have that in my kitchen, shouldn't I? Yeah, that would make sense, huh? Ironically, for a video, I was gonna wear the Cadwell's helmet on my head, but it didn't fit very well. It wasn't very like comfortable. I'm trying to see if I can find I'm trying to find my stream on Twitch to see how we're doing. Sharp as night. I think I like Sharpest Knight's bonus. I think that was really good. Jake, you're Scrooge McDuck. I'm surprised you don't like the Imperial City changes. Well, I like some of them. I love the new vendor, right? I said ahead of time I would be I would be elated. I would be ecstatic if they added a new weekly vendor, right? So for me, that was great, right? Curated drops though, like now things like the powerful assault ice staff are gonna go from like half a mil to probably like 30K, you know? So for me, that's where I was like, Sharp's pretty good. Also Razumdar and Meek, the cat guy with the ship too. Those are good options. I like Azander too, but Azander just has a lot of practical use, right? So like Azander, you literally loot crates and stuff with him, and you're just like, boom, easy money, you know? He seems kind of Azander does, or are you talking about somebody different, Dark Hunter? Yeah, I mean, like as far as lore wise, he's kind of like, he's, but he's so useful though, you know. Raspberry is great. I like to think that you typed out some dude's name that's like very complicated, and autocorrect was just like, he must mean that raspberry fella. The old raspberry. By the way, this is the mount that we get if we go all the way with the community challenge. This one on the far right. It looks like one of those creatures from Star Wars. I forget what they're called. The ones that they rode in The Last Jedi. Those real goofy ones that they like rode. This is not Razumdar. That's probably what he meant. That's I could see Razumdar being auto corrected to raspberry. This is also me not endorsing The Last Jedi. I promise I don't like that movie, but I do remember that scene where they were like riding the creatures out of the casino. That reminds me of that creature right there. Yeah, I can imagine the autocorrect is like, what in the world are you trying to tell me? Oh, here's Evie again. Evie, can you come here, baby? Come here, girl. Oh, geez, like, is it not playtime yet? She's like, can we go play? She's like, the workday is over. It's time. And I'm like, it's not time yet. Playtime has not begun. We've got grinding to do. You know, right now we're grinding on Twitch. So they've released. Evie says hello back. I don't know if you still can get the Twitch drop. They were broken and they fixed them. I think they're off again. I don't know. A lot of people have been saying that they're uh broken. Like it's been a problem basically all stream. to try to get these Twitch drops to work. So I don't know, unfortunately. But maybe. I'm just checking on Facebook right now to see if they added a cheat sheet for update 44, and I'm just going down. I'm gonna see. I guess I could probably pull it up on stream. Why don't I just do that there, fellas? Hang on, hold on. Let's pull up what the website says. You guys want to do a little reading together? If the Elder Scrolls Online website wasn't the slowest website in the entire world, oh, I can easily steal some of these for thumbnails. These are going to be great for thumbnail stealing. All right, let's set the Windows capture to pick up this. Good. Boom. All right. So we have 7 brand new maps. We have the 4v4 competitive. We have the 8v8 with the power-ups. 4v4v4 will only be available for limited time special mini PvP events. All the traditional ones will remain, but including Team Deathmatch. Chaos Ball and Capture the Relic will be only 8v8. Okay. And then the power-ups will only be available for those as well. We have the 2 new companions. I wish they would say what it increases the drop rate to, like the force lock, because like force locking is like really helpful, especially at low levels. Yeah, the banner is going to be awesome. 14 new focus scripts. And they said that a lot of them were going to be focused on Frost, which I think will be kind of an inadvertent buff to Nords, which kind of needed that stuff. Oh, so they did talk about the tutorial. How often do you stream on Twitch? I follow your YouTube. It only happened over here due to the potential for drops. I stream it. I try to stream at least 2 to 3 times a week, but my work schedule is all over the place. So sometimes I finish super late. Sometimes I can get out a little early. Like today, I had to drive to somebody who was an hour and 20 minutes away, hustled back, you know. Unfortunately, it depends a lot. My schedule's a bit weird, but in Discord, I usually post when I'm going to be streaming. I try to do it as frequent as possible, though. Update 44 reinstates the first chapter of the ESO main questline as the game's primary tutorial. So they got rid of the old one in favor. Okay. In addition, ESO's original tutorial quest has gone a series of changes and improvements. This includes the quest structure. It basically sounds like they're just trying to integrate you to the game a little bit better. For this update, the Heart of the Empire also received itemizations. Imperial city keys and key fragments have been converted to the new Imperial fragments. The key fragments requirement to enter vaults has been removed. Treasure chests have been replaced with vendors and more. In the sewers, you may find these changes in the vendors. All right. A brand new activity reward systems. Wait, what? What is this? Golden Pursuits. Did they talk about this? Complete challenges, earn rewards. A brand new activity and reward systems coming with update 44. Golden Pursuits are dynamic one-off campaigns accessible from the group and activity finder that allow you to earn additional rewards during special limited time windows. When a golden reward is active, you can complete a bunch of curated, unique activities to claim in-game items while working towards a special capstone reward. Rewards will vary but are not limited to in-game currencies, collectibles, and more. Keep an eye out for the first Golden Pursuit. What is this? Did we miss this? What is this? Am I crazy? Did they talk about this at all? Did I miss this? What is this? What is this Golden Pursuits? Did they talk about this on stream? I feel like I missed this portion, or they didn't talk about it. Did it? What is Golden Pursuits? What is this? I don't know. Yeah, like what? But like what? What is this? What is this Golden Pursuits? I am. I'm so confused. Like what? What? I don't think that they talked about this. I'm glad that we looked it up because now I'm like, is there this whole new thing? But like, what is it? Complete unique challenge. Is this like Seals of Endeavors? What is it though? Like I mean I understand like what they're saying word wise here, but like what does any of this mean? Like what's an example of this? Like if I get into a group and I go and do like what activity are they implying that this is? Like I'm trying to think of an example of like what even would this be? Does anyone know? I don't think that they talked about this on stream. Like what is it going to be like group Seals of Endeavors? Like hey, as a group complete like something, you know? Like I don't know. This is crazy. I'm a little confused here, but that's okay. We'll continue on. They added the new skill styles. We can kind of skip through that, but then that's it. Wait, but wait a minute. Didn't even talk about the new vendor. Like, okay, never mind. They said you can find many changes to existing ones. Blah de blah. Okay, so that's them. That's okay. That's what they mean. So Callie, because the drop wasn't working, you're going to be able to watch a stream, I think, next week or later this week, and you're going to be able to get the drop still. So it broke like during their stream, and then it was fixed, and then I think it broke again because I think that they set it during specific time windows, and I think they were having problems with it. So you'll be able to get it again in the future. They've confirmed, so don't worry about the pet. I'm just confused as to what this Golden Pursuit is. I'm curious, like if I Google it, will it pop up? ESO Golden Pursuits. Like, is anybody else talking about this? I don't think so. Gilded Glory, Pursuit Passives. Yeah, it's not even really talked about except in this, which is just, I think, the thing that we just... Wait. This is different? We got more information here? Or is he just gonna... Does just link us back to the thing? Yeah, it just links us back to here. Do we have anybody talking about this whole system that wasn't mentioned in stream at all? Like, hello, help. Everybody's talking about Cyrodiil. What is this new thing? We have a whole new system that everybody's like glossing over. Oh, Evie, come on. You gotta come back over here. Yeah, nobody's talking about Golden Pursuits. Oh, wait, can I like control F it? Is anybody even... Nobody's even talking about this. Are they talking about Golden? I'm not sure what to think. New activity part is good, but I fear it will be another we want you to play this type of mode and people will exploit it. Okay. Golden Pursuits, is that similar to Battle Pass? Sounds interesting, but I'm worried we're getting too much stuff with a fixed timer. Okay. What is it? Like, I can't believe there's this whole thing that we didn't hear about. I'm excited. I love the concept of like, do this right away and get this cool reward. Like, to me, that's awesome. But like, I'm gonna check their Twitter real quick to see if there's anything on their Twitter. Because I'm just a little confused. I'm excited. Something new. This, maybe this will increase people's opinions on this update, but Experience 2 new styles. Grimoire. No, I don't think they've posted anything about it. No, I don't see anything about Golden Pursuits. Huh. I mean, it's cool, like officially a data miner. I'm just reading their own website. This is their website. But I mean, this is nice too. An increase to furnishing base material. Did they mention that in the stream either? Wait, keep an eye out for the patch. Oh wait, do they not have the patch notes out yet? Probably not, huh? No, I don't think they're here. Increase to furniture base material. That's actually really good. But I don't know, like, what are they increasing it to, Okay, you can find it with Sigic portals. That's actually kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool if you could sell that too. I love when they make rare things sellable. To me, that's always really cool. And I'm thinking these vendors are going to start working like Imperial, like the vendors inside of Cyrodiil, like the one at Bruma and whatnot. But I think that this down here is really cool. The quest pips for Master Ritz. Huh. An increase to furnishing base materials at regular harvest nodes. That's really nice. I also don't know if this will include Cyrodiil or not. Like, does this include the Emperorship? Is that going to include that? I hope it's not. I hope it doesn't become like pay to win to become the Emperor because you have a 10% buff. That would be kind of unfortunate. But yeah, I mean this is potentially like it's just kind of crazy because like this is potentially huge. I've wanted a timed system for a while, and it's crazy that it wasn't mentioned during the stream. I'm just like, what's it gonna be about? This is crazy. Has anybody else picked up on this? Is anybody talking about this? And like a capstone reward. They talked about the furnishing mats. Yeah, I think I remember something about that. Huh. I'm just a little perplexed about this. You've got this stuff down here, which they talk. I'm just unless this is the community challenge, but I don't think it is. Which I don't think that's mentioned in here. Hmm. Oh, they're gonna add the quest structure to explain drops, lock picking stuff. I mean, that's cool to like give you an idea of like more so of the game mechanics. Itemization improvement. Yeah. Huh. I mean, not like complaining. I'm just, just a little confused. It's a very cool thumbnail though. Definitely you're going to see a lot of people use this as a thumbnail. I can already promise you. This image right here is going to be stolen and put in so many thumbnails, your eyes will bleed having seen it. Yeah, that seems to be like the big. I mean, and it's a huge thing. It's kind of like, well, what is this? Because I mean, like, yeah, I'm excited. I just, What's all this then, eh? And it probably will give people a better opinion of the update too, if we knew more about it. But we don't yet know about it, so we'll have to kind of see what information comes out, because I don't even have like there's not even an example of like what is a golden pursuit. Like what is a golden pursuit? It just says basically like complete a thing in a limited time window and you can get rewards. Like so it's so like vague as to like what it will be, you know. But I am going to get ready to go here because I got to eat dinner and then we got to review the Tuesday vendor. So there's a whole lot to break down. That'll probably be tomorrow's joke. Sorry, I read maybe the perfect time for a new joke. I just read your message. I'll probably do an update 44 breakdown video tomorrow where we kind of go through all of the pieces. Hopefully by then we know like what this is, because this could be huge. Because I've said the ESO needs more like limited time activities that are like, you know, worth doing. So I'm hoping that this is like their way of giving us like limited time activity rewards that you can earn. But I don't know what exactly this entails yet, so it's hard to give like a rating or an opinion on it. But if this is good, like this could also like completely make this update even better. We just don't know what it is. But I'm gonna get ready to go here. Does anybody have any other questions or anything before I run here for the end of the day? Anyone want to tell me their thoughts and feelings, you know? I feel like there's a lot for me to digest here, like a lot to go over, you know? I feel like I need to like take a nap and process everything. like I'm not gonna take a nap. Obviously, we got a Tuesday vendor to review, and hopefully there's something good in the Tuesday vendor. Thanks for the info. Take it easy. Well, thank you for stopping out. I hope that this was helpful. This like post game analysis. I feel like we're just giving like a post game interview. Like, let's see what everybody thinks about the 8v8 Battlegrounds. Well, Tim, in chat today, everybody was flaming them because there was no Cyrodiil update. So it's kind of funny watching like the official live stream next to ours. And we were just like, whoa, you see all those guys getting banned in the chat and timed out? Woo. Thank God we're not over there, huh? Golden pursuit equals any of Jake's gold making methods. I'm excited to see what exactly a golden pursuit is. I also want to know what their housing contest is going to be because I want to enter it. I mean, I probably won't win because my house is a bit generic looking, but like, you know, I want to enter, you know? So hopefully we hear about all the information and all the good stuff that that comes out. But if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you guys for the massive support today. We got gifted subs, brand new followers. I think we gained like 100 new followers on Twitch, which is crazy. Got some new YouTube subs, so just want to thank you guys again for that. And I'll actually be on later because we'll be doing a Tuesday vendor review, so stay tuned for that video. And I'll catch you guys.